Welcome back to Second and Short. It is Friday, May 10th, 2024, and I've got Luke here in person with me in the studio. Luke, how you doing today?
Yeah, I'm great. First episode, just us two
Yes, sir.
in person. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, nobody behind the camera. Nathan had to work. Colin's graduating today.
Congrats.
Ethan is at football practice, so all of my options are gone. So it's just me and Luke. Look, the MLB season continuing. We're kind of about to approach the dog days of the summer, just where it's just a bunch of teams grinding it out.
Pretty much.
And the NFL offseason kind of heated back up this week with like the whole focus on the draft kind of finally phasing out. Now it's going back to some teams turning back to the free agent market. That's been pretty fun to watch. And then, of course, some great Premier League matchups that season winding down quickly. And then the Champions League final is set,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
Damn. Yeah, I really wanted a Bayern Dortmund final, but also,
Yeah.
like, this Real Madrid team is just undeniable.
Yeah, they're ridiculous. And then, of course, we'll round it out with questions time. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on. Make sure that's not blocking me.
MVP right there.
Yeah, the MVP, of course. But don't want it to be in the way of my face.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess if you're ready, we'll go ahead and get into the MLB recap.
Yeah, let me pull up my stuff here, and we should be
Okay.
good to go.
Well, then let's do that exactly. I'd like to start with Ipe Mizuhara. We got the news that he's pleading guilty, and he's going to face up to 33 years in prison. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, he's brutal. And
Yeah.
I just hate that he's kind of put a fork in, such a good career so far for Ohtani.
Yeah.
A lot of pretty much nothing negative to say
No.
about Ohtani except for this.
Yeah,
That's unfortunate.
yeah. He pled guilty on one count of bank fraud, one count of subscribing to a false tax return. At an arraignment scheduled for May 14th, he faces a maximum sentence of 33 years in prison, 5 years of supervised release, and a fine of $1.25 million. And he'll be required to pay full restitution to his victims, which include nearly $17 million to Shohei Ohtani and $1.15 million to the IRS.
Damn.
Yeah.
The
Looking
feds are coming
good.
after him now.
Yeah, it's bad. he really fucked up.
That's horrible because, I'm sure he was making plenty money just, being the interpreter for probably one of the world's most polarizing athletes right now. So,
Yeah,
ridiculous.
it's very interesting. Speaking of very interesting, Giancarlo Stanton maybe hitting stride again.
Holy shit.
What a fucking hit. A home run with an exit velo of 119.9, the hardest hit ball since Ronald Acuna hit a home run last season, 121.2.
Yeah, and actually, I want to bounce off of that because right
Okay.
here, I literally have hardest home
Perfect.
runs hit in the StatCast era. So, the record is held by Giancarlo Stanton already at 21.7. He did that.
2018?
Yeah, 2018. I think it was against the Rangers, I believe. And then this one, actually, no, this one's 2020, 121.3. Also, Giancarlo Stanton in second place. Then you have Acuna's 121.2. He did that in 2023. Aaron Judge makes this list. He's fourth with the 121.1. And then Giancarlo Stanton's fifth. So he has
Nice.
3 of the top 5. Yeah, man, that guy sucks at baseball, but damn, can he
does.
give you some home runs?
Yeah, he definitely can. He's hit 47 home runs of 115 plus mile per hour exit velocity just in the Statcast era, which obviously the most in the MLB. The Statcast era only started in like 2012, 2015.
Yeah.
So
That's all Giancarlo era.
it's
right there.
ridiculous. Yeah. Bryce Harper had a pretty good start to the week. He hit a 3-run home run on Sunday, a 3-run home run on Monday, and a grand slam on Tuesday.
Yeah. That's insane.
Pretty solid way to start the week.
Yeah, good for Bryce Harper. Shit.
Yeah, the Phillies are killing it right now. Once again, I have to bring up the fact that they haven't played like any teams over 500 except the Braves on like opening day.
Yep.
But it's neither here nor there. They're one of the best teams in baseball.
Yep.
Okay, I had to talk about this. Bally Sports has been running ads on social media. I don't know if you've seen them. That says Xfinity pulled the plug on Bally Sports and the fans are frustrated. We're ready to get you back in the game. Take action now.
Uh-oh.
And it's like essentially like a petition
Yeah.
to try and convince Xfinity to go back to them. But the problem is that Bally is the one that isn't agreeing on a contract.
Huh.
Xfinity has offered them multiple contracts. Bally didn't take any of them.
So do they just think that it's an unfair contract on their
guess.
end? That's kind of weird because I
Yeah.
remember last podcast, it kind of seemed like you wanted them to kind of go out quietly, like just kind of finally end it.
Yeah.
But it seems like they're going down swinging this time.
Well, yeah, because they're about to go bankrupt. Like, duh.
Yeah.
But like the replies were turned off on these ads, so you can't comment on them. And actually, a fun fact that I found out while looking through all of this is that if you didn't already hate regional sports networks and everything and MLB's blackouts, the state of Iowa is a prime example of why all of this is so fucked up. So they don't have a professional baseball team, obviously, or an MLB team. They have professional teams. But 20% of the league is blacked out in Iowa.
Damn.
Yeah. The Twins, Brewers, Cubs, White Sox, Cardinals, and Royals are all blacked out in Iowa.
Wow.
Yeah.
That just doesn't seem fair. I don't know. We had a big discussion about it last week about, blackouts. It's just like going back to it, I think the question is just why is it so hard to watch your team play?
Exactly. I think, you just need to get the fuck over it, honestly. Like
Yeah.
on the MLB side, just get over it. Let people watch the teams they want to watch.
Yeah.
Don't make it inaccessible. That's what I don't understand.
Yeah. That's ridiculous, though. 20%.
Yeah. And they don't even have a team themselves. David O'Brien, who's a Braves reporter for The Athletic, tweeted out a hilarious picture of kind of his view from the press box when they got back from the road trip against the Dodgers. They get there on Tuesday to start this 2-game series against the Red Sox. First thing you see, a TV with a blue screen that says Bally Sports is no longer available because even Truist Park uses Xfinity as their TV provider, probably because in the background of this photo, you literally see the Comcast office with the Xfinity logo on it that is just past the chop house in the Battery.
Yeah.
Like
You can see it from the
Yes,
stadium.
you can
yeah.
literally see it from inside the stadium. A huge Xfinity logo and a huge Comcast logo.
Oh, my God. It's perfect.
But you can't watch the Braves
Yeah.
with them as your TV provider. And like, I'm starting to see like kind of more and more numbers on how many people lost the ability to watch the Braves because they were subscribed to Xfinity, because Xfinity dominates the state of Georgia and like dominates like Braves country for when it comes to cable. And so they lost like almost 50% of households in Georgia use Xfinity.
And the Braves are probably during one of their best eras right now as well, too, on top of all that.
Exactly.
50%.
Almost.
That pisses me off, man.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
We
do not get it.
literally switched to Fubo the week of.
Yeah.
Because we
You have to.
We have to. Like when I was having the discussion with my dad, I was like, okay, in this house, what do we watch the most of?
Braves.
Braves baseball particularly, but just regional sports networks. So the Hawks, the Braves, whatever else plays regionally. And what else do we watch the most of? College football, which also has regional programming. Not to the level of regional sports networks, but the programming is regional for like when it comes down to like, SEC network and ACC network and all that. And like we watch a ton of random college football. We watch a ton of Braves games, Hawks games, everything. So it's like, why would we not go with that? Because obviously they're trying to take it away on Xfinity.
Definitely.
Fubo has been pretty solid. Of course, literally the day we got it, their contract ran out with Warner Brothers, I think. So they lost like 40 channels. I think they're getting it fixed. I don't know. Back to the actual baseball part of this podcast. Shea Langoliers went insane in the Athletics doubleheader against the Rangers. On Wednesday, he was across 2 games, 5 for 9, 2 home runs, 2 doubles, a triple, 8 RBIs, and 3 runs scored.
Holy shit.
Yeah, he was a single shy of the cycle in the first game, and then he followed it up with a home run in the second game, which was 454 feet, and it hit a window in the outfield of the Oakland Coliseum.
Damn. I wonder if they'll even replace that window.
Luckily, I think it was like plexiglass, so it just bounced off of it, but if it was glass, it would not have been replaced.
Let me tell you, like the Athletics this year, a lot more hopeful than last year. Yeah,
They're
not
so great.
bad at all.
And a big part of that, Mason Miller.
Yeah.
Mason Miller has been ridiculous.
Oh,
And he was
man.
actually asked about if he's going to get one of those special closer entrances now that he is the closer for Oakland.
Yeah.
And he said that he probably won't because, literally in quotes, the lights might not come back on. Which
Jesus
is
Christ.
hilarious.
Gotta love Mason Miller.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's awesome. Not so awesome, Wilson Contreras breaking his arm.
Oh, that was
so hard to watch,
yeah.
but also 100% his fault.
Oh yeah.
Like, so he got called for a catcher's interference on a swing in which JD Martinez swung and literally broke his arm. Literally just a straight up, like, on the injury report, fractured arm.
Yeah.
And it was very clearly Contreras' fault because he set up way too close. Like,
Yeah.
JD Martinez, yes, he was in the back of the box, but he's allowed to be.
Yeah.
Like, Wilson Contreras literally, like, set up, and it looks like his knee is about to hit JD Martinez's leg.
Yeah.
And so, of course, he's going to swing and hit his arm. Like, it was so obvious.
Yeah. I just hate that a catcher like him has to go down like that. You know?
It does suck.
That's brutal.
It does. Greg Amsinger from MLB Network did maybe one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. I actually got the chance to watch it live. I just happened to be watching MLB Network when the Dodgers-Marlins game was starting up. Yamamoto was the starter, and I don't even know what the show was called. I just flipped on MLB Network because I knew the Dodgers game was about to come on, and I was going to watch it. And they kind of like went from the studio show to like passing it over to the broadcast. And before he passes it over, he decides to declare that there's a no-hitter alert in Dodgers-Marlins. No pitches have been thrown. Nothing.
Like the game hadn't even started?
No,
yet?
Yamamoto was literally throwing practice, like warm-up pitches right before Jazz Chisholm was about to go up to the plate.
Yeah.
And then literally a second later, after it switched over to the broadcast, Jazz Chisholm hit a leadoff home run on the first pitch of the game.
Why?
It was so perfect.
Was he just trying to be cool? Like, Yamamoto's warming up.
Yeah.
No hitter incoming, and then
Yeah.
Jazz Chisholm out of
Ended it
anybody.
immediately. Yeah, out of anybody, he has been brutal. Yeah, just crazy. Like,
I
why
love
would you do
that.
that? Why would you do that?
I swear, like the Dodgers just try to be so cool.
Yeah,
And like, I guess they are one of the most like, storied franchises in the MLB, but
For
like in 2024, they're just not. Like,
no, they're not.
I don't give a fuck about the
No.
Dodgers at all. At all.
I definitely don't either. Not a lot of people give a fuck about the Nationals either.
No.
And it's probably because they're literally just average.
Yeah.
So as of May 6th, which is multiple days ago now, they were 17-17 with a 100 OPS plus and a 100 ERA plus.
The average.
Literally average. You are 500,
Yeah.
and in two stats that are based on league average, you're league average. I don't even know how you do that.
Yeah, I mean, at least the performance is reflecting in the record. Though.
Yeah,
literally.
the hitting, league average, the pitching, league average, and the win-loss is as average as it gets.
Yeah. Leave it to the Nationals, man.
Yeah, they would be the team that does that. Chris Sale, in his first matchup against the Red Sox, ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous last night. 6 innings pitched, 6 hits, 1 walk, no runs, 10 Ks. The slider looks as good as ever. It's amazing. It feels great because he is actually just pitching lights out every time he comes out.
And he's pitching for your team now.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
know.
the whole MLB really should be watching Chris Sale right now because it's just so good to
amazing.
finally see him healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing better than a lefty from Chris Sale going behind the batter and then breaking in front of the batter.
Yeah, and the way that he just ruins left-handed hitting is crazy.
Yeah. Well, when
Like, he makes guys look like absolute idiots.
Yeah, I mean, when the slider starts at your ass and ends 3 feet in front of you, it's kind of difficult.
It definitely is.
No, but I love Chris Sale, though.
yeah.
Shout out Chris Sale.
Another guy that's going to be difficult to face, Paul Skeens.
Oh,
He's going to get his debut on Saturday.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine it's going to go horribly.
Yeah.
Like, okay, my thing is that most of the pitching he's done is in Double-A. In reminder, he got picked first overall last year.
Are you about to bring up the Instagram video that I sent you on him?
Maybe
Where he's only pitching like 4 innings?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's just kind of a normal thing for Double-A pitchers. And so he's only made a couple of starts in AAA, and he's gone, 5, 6, 7 innings. But a majority of his experience is going 4 innings or 3 innings in Double-A because that's what you do. You don't typically just like let a guy go
Yeah.
in Double-A. And I just don't know how well that's going to pan out because he's only played in Triple-A for a couple of weeks this year. He started the season in Double-A.
Yeah.
So I don't know how I feel about it. Look, and the thing is that he's not going to have an average start. He's not going to go out there and pitch 5 innings, give up like 2 runs on a couple of hits.
Yeah.
He's either going to get lit the fuck up or he's going to pitch lights out.
Yeah. No in between.
No.
Yeah, I completely
No.
agree.
He's a
It's going to
beast.
be interesting. He is a beast.
Yeah.
And I mean, he definitely, I feel like, deserved the call up. Maybe for a starting pitcher, let him have more time in AAA.
Yeah.
But I mean, worst case scenario with him, you just send him back down. I don't really know how in the MLB that correlates to like confidence. Like if you draft a
It
first
hurts.
round quarterback and then bench him week 2, that's
Yeah.
bad. But I
Yeah.
don't know how that translates to MLB.
See, I think with Skeens, I think there was a bit of a pressure to bring him up because
Definitely.
he was a guy that I think he's already like 23, 24.
Yeah.
So I think that's where the pressure to just bring him up and just see how it goes is coming from because obviously he's been pitching amazing. He was amazing at LSU. I think he started off at Army, maybe.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't
think
know
that's
that.
where he started.
Huh.
He started at one of the service academies, I believe. Let me pull this up real quick.
Well, I mean, if it fails for him, he's always got Livvy to take care of him.
That's true.
So.
Okay, so sorry, he's 21 years old.
Oh wow.
I think he only played 2 years in college then. He was at Air Force and then transferred to LSU and then was the first overall pick.
Wow. I don't
so-
think his body's really built for an F-16. Way too big.
Yeah, he is a giant.
Sorry, I keep cutting you
He's
off.
6'6".
Yeah.
I don't know his weight. 6'6", 250.
Damn, he's a
Dude,
lunk of meat.
Big
Shit.
motherfucker. You got Livvy, so
Yeah.
he's obviously doing something right.
Yep.
Which is probably making the MLB this quickly in his career. But
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch his debut for sure. The next thing though, Ellie De La Cruz just continues to excite, man. He looks amazing. I thought he was gonna have a bit of a slump because that's how his year ended last year.
Yep.
It was like the last 2 months of the season. He just was not that good. He's just killing it now, and he is on pace for like 45 home runs and like 85 stolen bases.
As a lanky motherfucker.
Yeah,
Too.
and he actually stole his 20th and 21st base of the season on consecutive pitches.
It's only the beginning of May.
I know. 21 steals.
I mean,
and
like,
we're just over a month in.
you got to think, like, a guy who's 6'5", 6'6", like that, added with the bigger bases
Yeah.
rule, he just could not have come up at a better time.
I know.
I mean, he has it written for him, man.
Yeah. No, it's perfect, and he's killing it.
Yeah.
Because like it's not like he's just like that's the only thing he's doing.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
He's showing the ability to not just like get on base. Because like last year with like Asturio Ruiz, who was second in stolen bases, he batted like 240,
yeah.
but he got on base sometimes. Ellie De La Cruz is like elite at the plate, which is huge, and he's stealing bases, and he has ridiculous power, and he tends to make errors but throw the ball really fucking hard.
Oh
from
my
shortstop.
God! Did you see that throw to first?
What was it,
the
like
106?
106.
Bro,
It's fucking ridiculous.
Blew his fucking arm off. It ended up like in
Yeah.
the crowd,
Yeah.
off the glove into the crowd. How
Yeah.
do you do that?
I don't know. I don't know. He
God, I'd be
is-
terrified as a first
crazy.
baseman. Holy shit!
Yeah. Honestly, I'd be terrified as an umpire as well, especially if Jordan Montgomery's on the mound.
So,
because did you see this video?
No.
Okay. Jordan Montgomery spiked an off-speed pitch, and it bounced right over his catcher's shoulder and hit the umpire right in the dick.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I didn't
It was
watch that.
A hilarious video.
Wow. You played first base, right?
Yes.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Would you like your shortstop to just be pumping it into you like that?
No. I had one shortstop kind of like the whole time I played that was like that, where like he would feel the ball and just fucking chuck it at me.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it was off target.
Yeah.
And that causes so many more issues than if you were to just like get it and not get the guy out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like if you got it to me and I'm able to just make a play on it and he's just safe because he ran it out, props to him. But if he's safe because you're soaring the ball over my head,
Yeah.
I'm going to be pissed about it.
I just wonder, like, to me, like, at the MLB level, like, what guys like Goldie or, like, Rizzo or Freddie Freeman would say about shortstops like that. Like, what their opinion would be.
I think the thing is that a lot of them, I guess I'll primarily talk about Freddie because I'm more aware of his shortstops. Well,
Yeah.
actually, no. I'll talk about Rizzo as well because he has an interesting experience with shortstops as well. Because he's had very good shortstops in his career, but he's also had Javi Baez, which isn't great.
Yeah.
So I think for Freddie almost always had a very good shortstop throughout his entire career.
Yeah.
He had Andrelton Simmons when he
pump it
came up.
too.
Yeah, and he could pump it, but he was also accurate.
Yeah.
I think that's the problem with Ellie. He's not always that accurate. And so when you're throwing that hard, it's great sometimes, but a lot of times it's not.
Yeah.
Or at least more times than it probably should be. It's not a good thing.
Yeah.
So I think it causes more problems than anything because, yes, these only happen every so often, but it shouldn't be talked about like this.
Yeah.
like if it was just like a one-off thing, it's whatever. Maybe it'd go under the radar. But when we're seeing one of these pretty often, it's a problem.
Yeah. Gotcha.
It's the same thing that Fernando Tatis went through when he was playing shortstop.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can pump it across the infield, but he can't be accurate. Same thing with O'Neal Cruz.
Yep.
Kind of all of the big shortstops.
Yeah.
That happens to. But guys like Dansby Swanson, Andrelton Simmons, a fantastic example. Those kind of guys have a plus glove is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
A plus glove and a way above average ability to get to the ball.
Yeah.
And then from there, they can make a play.
Yeah.
But they're not throwing 105 across the diamond.
No.
It's more about the ability to find the ball, make the correct play on it, so that it's easier for you to make the play to first.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Whereas Ellie De La Cruz, a lot of the times, he'll make one of these plays because he's kind of his momentum, he's playing the ball towards first base, so obviously momentum's kind of on his side, and then he can just kind of pick it up and just kind of fall into the throw.
Yeah.
And I think it just throws everything off. Whereas Dansby Swanson, he'll make a great, like his great plays and Ellie De La Cruz's great plays are different because Dansby's really good at getting a ball that's going up the middle and stopping it and like kind of rolling over and making the play at first.
Yep.
Same thing, like kind of like what Orlando Arcia did the other night. And I know I'm just using Braves examples,
About
but
to say.
that's just when it comes to like shortstop play and like defense, I'm more familiar with the guys I see the most.
Yeah.
So like Orlando Arcia made a play where like he had to like run to the second base side of the bag, make a play and like kind of on a knee get somebody out at first. And like he's been making great plays all year.
Yep.
But like that to me is more impressive than a guy that can, charge a ball, make a play, and throw 105 across the diamond.
Yeah.
I'm way more impressed by somebody that can get a ball that seems like it's way out of their range and then just make the easy play to first.
Yeah. 10-4. That was a good conversation about
yeah,
shortstop, first base.
And I'd
I
like
that.
to actually continue this conversation about defense with Jared Kelenic. Oh my God, he is playing great fucking left
I
field.
haven't heard about
Oh my
what he's been doing.
goodness. He's kind of putting together a highlight reel already this season in
Uh-oh.
left field. Like,
And it's May 9th.
he got his first home run, out the way finally on Tuesday, but on Wednesday, man, this was so me, two of my buddies, Jared and Jaden, went out, grabbed a beer last night, and we were watching the Braves game, and Jared Kelenic fucking robbed a home run, and it was awesome.
Damn.
And like it's one of many. Like he's made great plays, like falling back to the wall. He's made like two amazing diving catches running full speed to his right. Like he's been a killer, and it's one of the things I love about putting a lefty in left field.
Yeah.
I love putting a lefty in left field because you get the glove side defense on the foul line. And
Yeah.
it's so perfect. It's
Yeah.
the same reason I love Ronald Acuna in right field because you get the glove side, which is way easier to make a play to down the foul line, which is just so much more important than covering the gap.
For sure. Yeah.
So
I get that.
I love it, and Jared Kelenic's absolutely killing it. Next thing though, I'd like to talk about this because somebody decided to update this because of one particular part of this that I'll talk about. But we'll start here. This is the Marlins' return in the Christian Yelich trade. and how it looks right now.
Okay.
Lewis Brinson, currently playing in the Mexican League. Isan Diaz, playing with the Lancaster Barnstormers of the Atlantic League.
Okay.
Okay. Jordan Yamamoto, who did play in the MLB for a couple more years. He's the head coach at Dwyer High School. And Monte Harrison just walked on to play college football at, I think, Arkansas or like Texas A&M
Oh,
or
I
something.
heard about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was part of the trade for Christian Yelich.
Oh, wow. That's horrible.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's what they got for Christian Yelich. They got one guy in the Mexican League, one guy in minor league ball, one guy playing college football, and one guy is a head baseball coach at a high school.
You were like, as soon as you started saying coach, I was like, oh, that's cool. And then you were like Dwyer High School. And I was like, oh, man. Wow.
Pretty brutal.
Wow.
Well, that's the end of my news. What do you got for the MLB?
Yeah, let me go back to my saved here. Here's a fun little stat for us. Aaron Judge and Juan Soto over their last 12 games. Aaron Judge, thank God, Aaron Judge. Where's the camera? Right here. Thank you for finding your stride, because boy, have I loved watching you this second half of the beginning part of the season. Aaron Judge is batting .349 right now.
Okay.
He's 15 for 43, 4 home runs, 11 RBI. He's got a .462 OBP and a 1.182 OPS.
Wow.
For Aaron Judge. And then Juan Soto, honestly doing much better. 383 batting average, 18 for 47, 5 extra base hits, 11 RBI, 453 OBP, and a 1.019 OPS.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. And I've said it so many times on this podcast, but again, I still can't believe that Juan Soto is on my team.
Yeah. No, he's absolutely killing
cannot
it.
believe. I love him so much.
Yeah. And how nice is it to start beating the Astros? I know they
Right?
suck, but
Yeah, no, it's still nice, but it's not as cool as if we were maybe doing it like in 2016.
that's fair.
When we needed to.
That's fair. What else you got? Anything?
Forgot already. Let's see here. The Yankees are 6-0 against the Astros, to your point again.
Yep.
Yamamoto a couple days ago casually started a game with 19 strikes against the Marlins. Wow. Yeah.
Is that the game where he gave up the home run to Jazz Chisholm?
It may have been.
That's crazy.
It may have been. This is a fun one. On this date, this was probably like 2 or 3 days ago. In 2012, Chris Davis went 0 for 8, but pitched 2 shutout innings and struck out 2 as the Orioles topped the Red Sox in 17 innings.
That's so Chris Davis.
Yeah. How about this? This was kind of crazy to hear about, but did you hear about Aaron Judge getting ejected?
Yes.
A couple days ago?
Yeah, me and Colin talked about it a little bit on Sunday.
Yeah, I thought that was crazy. First Yankee captain
was.
since Don Mattingly in '94 to get ejected. Jeter was never ejected in his career.
It's not surprising.
Yeah.
And look, for Judge, I think the tough part is, like, for him, it's so hard to argue a low fastball.
Yeah.
Because it's like, dude, you're a giant.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's really hard to argue that.
Yeah, I mean, his knees are 5'11". So
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of
tough.
Impossible to win that argument.
Yeah, and I watched the video. He didn't really. It was kind of a baloney call
it was a
to
bad
eject
call.
him. I mean, it was, for one, a bad call, but he didn't really say anything.
No,
he was walking
and
away as he said
what
it.
I like is that this provided the opportunity for a video of Carl Yastrzemski to come out from way back in the day, where Carl Yastrzemski literally got in the umpire's face in the middle of an at-bat for a ball and strike call. Like, literally, like, up to his face, yelling in his face, like, pointing at him, blah, 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 like, saying all this shit, gets back in the batter's box, goes on with their day.
Wow.
They just keep going. No ejection.
Huh.
So I don't know why MLB umpires are so fucking soft now,
Yeah.
but it's got to change.
Yeah, managers are getting ejected for fans.
Yeah, like, just in general, it shouldn't be a conversation every week of a different guy getting ejected.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be a conversation about an ejection. It should either be everybody should probably know that this guy should get ejected because he did something worthy of it,
Yeah.
or he shouldn't get ejected and he's just speaking his mind because you fucking suck at your job.
Yeah.
You got to
Yeah.
give the guys the opportunity to at least argue a call.
I think so, yeah.
Because calls can change. Not
Yes.
a ball and strike call, But other calls in the field can change in the game.
Yeah.
So, yes, they can point things out to just be like, hey, you're not doing a good job calling this. Or, hey, you've been calling this on the other team. You're not calling on my team. And it's simply human error. I get that.
Yep.
But you got to at least hear what they're saying because they're the ones that are reaping the consequences of your actions.
Exactly.
So I think the umpires need to take a little more accountability rather than just ejecting a first guy that says something about how they're doing.
Yeah, and accept the feedback from the players as long as it's not too egregious. Like I my teammates hated me for this, but I always kind of would talk to the refs a lot, and sometimes it wouldn't always be the nicest conversation. And you know, it's the argument is always like, Luke, the call like is not, you can't reverse a call in soccer.
Yeah.
But my argument is against that is like, I'm just telling him to like watch out for this.
Yeah.
Like for future calls
maybe it's
down the
something
road.
he wasn't looking for.
Exactly.
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
Anything else you got?
No, that was it. I just had like a couple of Yankee stuff.
Cool. Well, then let's talk about the series we've got going on this weekend. I think obviously the one to look out for is Cubs Pirates because first of all, on Friday we get Jamison Tyone versus Jared Jones, which is gonna be a great matchup. But then on Saturday, of course, we get Paul Skeens' debut, which is obviously a huge deal. And he's facing Assad. I can't remember his first name.
Again, look who the Phillies are fucking
Javier
playing.
Assad, who's 3-0, killing it.
Wow.
Yeah, look, the Phillies playing a shit team like the Marlins.
Oh, Braves Mets.
Yeah, Braves Mets is fun, always.
And it's a weekend series, too.
Yes.
That'll be fun.
Can't wait to talk shit all fucking weekend. We've got Astros, Tigers, little Alex Cora, AJ Hinch. Or no, not Alex Cora. Just AJ Hinch. Alex Cora's on the Red Sox now.
Damn.
But yeah, AJ Hinch versus former team. Yankees Rays is a great series.
Yep.
Maybe the Rays will do what they did last weekend and just wear the city connects every game.
Yep.
D-backs Orioles is a pretty good series. I know the D-backs kind of started off a little bit slow, but they're still a great team.
Yep.
Twins Blue Jays really isn't that bad either. A lot of good series.
Ooh, Guardians White Sox. Everybody tune in.
God. Nationals Red Sox might be okay. Other than the fact that Patrick Corbin gets it started for the Nationals.
Yeah. The Rockies are still in the league?
Yep, the Rockies still play baseball despite only winning it 8 times. Royals Angels is fine. The Angels do have some guys to watch. That's the nice thing. I know Trout's out right now.
Yeah.
But there is guys to pay attention to on the Angels, and of course the Royals are killing it. Dodgers, Padres,
I don't mind Athletics Mariners at all, actually.
I don't either. I was about to talk about that because the Athletics have some solid pitching to throw in this matchup.
Yes.
And that will help you contend with the Mariners.
For sure. Yeah.
No matter what. Because,
I agree.
You know, obviously they don't have the firepower on the bats, but pitching-wise, like Paul Blackburn going to get the start on Friday. He's 3-1 with a 3.0 ERA. There hasn't been an Oakland pitcher with a 3 ERA or lower in years.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, he's underrated.
Reds Giants, not too bad either.
Yeah.
Not a series I hate. So a lot of great series.
Yeah, I feel like last week it was kind of a dud. This week we're getting nice.
Yeah, we got a lot of good ones. Saturday, you got a good pitching matchup. Simeon Woods Richardson, who was a killer this past week. He's getting the start against Kevin Gausman, who's off to a bit of a slow start this season. You got Ryan Nelson versus John Means in Diamondbacks Orioles. John Means coming off of a fantastic debut this season. You got Nestor Cortez taking the mound, maybe trying to figure some things out. Let's see. Christian Javier versus Tarek Skubal. Fantastic 2 guys with sub-2 ERAs.
Yeah.
Let's see. Anything else good? James Paxton. Why the fuck are you 4-0 in 2024?
The Maple Leaf.
Yeah. Alex Wood versus Bobby Miller. Not a horrible matchup.
Yeah. No,
I know
not at
Alex
all.
Wood, you know, once again, kind of like the James Paxton thing. Why are we talking about Alex Wood in 2024?
Right. When is Skeens' debut?
Saturday.
So
yeah, that one's against Javier Assad for the Cubs on Saturday. Sunday, Diamondbacks Orioles. Again, you got another good one. Zach Gallen versus Dean Kramer. Justin Steele versus Mitch Keller in Cubs Pirates. So 3 great pitching matchups for Cubs Pirates.
Yeah, for sure.
Get to see Mackenzie Gore going for the Nationals on Sunday. Alek Manoah getting the start against the Twins.
Hell yeah.
Ooh, watch out, everybody. He might just give up 10 runs.
So
he might.
I take it that you hated Alex Manoah before.
No.
You really give him his
No,
shit.
that's the funny thing is I didn't have anything against him until he started acting like he wasn't bad.
Oh.
If you
Yeah.
can accept the fact that you're not playing well, that's all cool and fine with me.
Yeah.
But the second he stopped playing well at the start of last season and just denied it, kind of,
He was in denial.
I was like, nah, I'm good. We're getting Justin Verlander versus Jack Flaherty. Once again, Justin Verlander facing his former team.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You know that Giancarlo home run was off of Verlander.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty
Not
crazy.
a great return so far.
No,
For Verlander.
not at all.
Zach Wheeler getting on the bump this weekend. Walker Buehler versus Yu Darvish, not bad.
Walker
at all.
Buehler's back.
Yeah, he
Is that his first game?
Yeah,
back?
it didn't not a great game. No, he started back on Monday. It was his first start.
Ooh, yeah.
Not a great start.
Not at all.
I think he went like 4 innings. Yeah, 4 innings pitched, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 4 Ks,
So the Dodgers have Paxton, Yamamoto, Buehler, and Glasnow.
and Kershaw.
What a weird pitching rotation.
Yes,
That is so strange.
it very much is.
How old is Walker Buehler now?
29.
Still 29.
Yeah.
Damn.
But what's funny about that is like he's been in the league a long time.
Yeah.
But he just was not that, like, he wasn't bad, but he did not get, like, elite attention the first couple of years of his career when he was amazing. Like, 2018, 23 starts, 8-5, which isn't outstanding, a 2.62 ERA, a sub-1 whip, 151 strikeouts. Like, that's ridiculous.
That's a good season.
And then 2019, 2021, that's when he got all of his love that he's gotten. Obviously, 2021, I think he was a runner-up for Cy Young.
Yeah.
And he was a dog. 2.47 ERA in 33 starts. He was 16-4, sub-1 whip, over 200 innings pitched, over 200 strikeouts. He's a killer when he's healthy.
Yeah.
He just has to be healthy.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else before we talk about the NFL?
No, we can move on to the football.
All right. Well, the way that we'll start the NFL recap, I can't even tell where we're at. 40 minutes in. Damn. A lot of MLB talk.
Good discussion.
We'll keep it quick for the NFL news then. I'd like to start with the roast of Tom Brady. Did you watch it?
No.
Okay.
But I've seen some highlights.
So I watched pretty much all of it. I fell asleep at one point. But I watched pretty much all of it. The ones that I didn't see, I ended up watching later if they were good. This is the perfect thing for me personally because obviously I love football. But I don't know if I've talked about it on the podcast, but I'm a huge stand-up comedy fan.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, I just, like, it was such a great blend of worlds. And, like, Nikki Glazer's somebody who I've watched her.
Love
I've watched
Nikki
her
Glazer.
stand up for a long time, and she's actually like, she's not just good at roasting
No.
because she's on a lot of the roasts that Jeff Ross holds. She is a great stand up in general, just a funny person.
Yeah.
So I love that she's getting a ton of love for this because she killed it.
She's a dime.
Yeah, that too.
Love Nikki Glazer.
Obviously,
I'm so glad you shouted her out. I did not think I thought I was kind of the only person that really knew who Nikki Glazer was.
I'm a huge fan of hers.
She's great. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not the biggest fan of Andrew Schultz as a stand-up comedian. I like him.
Funny
on
podcast
his
guy.
podcast is great. Just like kind of as a person, he's very funny.
Yeah.
I don't love his stand-up. He fucking killed it.
Yeah. I say the same thing about Trevor Wallace. Just a little side note.
Yeah.
Don't like his stand-up, but he's
Yeah.
a funny guy.
I see that as well.
Yeah.
I love that Tony Hinchcliffe kind of got brought up there to just roast the panel,
Yeah.
which was hilarious. Like all he did was roast the comics. Like he did a little bit of funny shit with like Brady and Gronk and Bill Belichick, like real quick. But
Yeah.
he really was there to roast all the comedians because obviously none of the people on the left side of that stage knew who any of the comedians were. And I watch Kill Tony every week, so I love Tony Hinchcliffe. I love his stand-up. So that was fun to see because he does a fantastic job of roasting people that like literally come on Kill Tony and do 1 minute of stand-up comedy, and then he just like destroys them.
Yeah.
And then they leave.
Yeah.
So I love Tony Hinchcliffe. You know what? I think Julian Edelman did a pretty good job.
Yeah.
And what's even crazier is he said, I guess after the fact, somebody asked him, he did write a lot of his jokes.
Oh, wow.
Which I really respect. Obviously, in case you couldn't realize, they were reading off of a teleprompter, which was rather obvious, especially when Tony Hinchcliffe he said something about Bert Kreischer, and you can see Bert mouthing it by reading it off of the teleprompter as he says it, and then he starts dying laughing, which is hilarious.
Damn.
It was very apparent that Gronk had no idea what half the jokes meant.
No.
Like, it wasn't just like... What sucks is that it made all the jokes about him being stupid true.
Yeah.
That's what killed me.
Oh, man.
Brady surprisingly took things well.
Really?
I think so.
Yeah.
I feel like at first I was like, when I was going into it, I was like, and I saw the panel, I was like, okay, these are people that don't hold back.
Yeah.
I don't know how Brady's going to like that. And Jeff Ross kind of got the bad end of that, which was making a joke about Robert Kraft massages, and Brady just gets up and whispers. By whispers, I mean talks into the fucking mic like this and says, "Don't fucking say that again." Which, whatever. Robert Kraft doesn't have to be a part of that. So I get that. Kim Kardashian got a lot of hate. They actually cut some of the people booing her.
Really?
Yeah, they cut that out of the audio. Which people weren't happy with.
There was a funny Kanye joke about her like leaving the kids at home with the dad.
I can't remember who made that joke, but it was very funny. I loved it overall. I thought it was really good. I think in general it's been very well received.
Yeah.
Loved Andrew Schultz's Dana White joke, which was hilarious. He made a joke about so he started by making a joke about how Edelman, Gronkowski, and Welker sounds more like a law firm than a wide receiver room. And then he said, you're going to need them for this divorce with Giselle, because obviously.
Yeah.
And then says, oh, that's why you brought Dana White here. He's very good at, like, fucking Brazilians out of half their purse.
Oh, my God. That's creative.
Hilarious.
That is very creative.
Like, the comedy side, they all killed it.
Nice.
So yeah, I loved it a lot. It was a perfect kind of blending of worlds for me.
Yeah.
Which was great.
Cool that Brady did that too. I really need to go and watch that whole thing.
You definitely should. I highly, and Kevin Hart, I don't know how I didn't even mention him. A fantastic host for that.
Yeah.
He was perfect for it, and also fantastic at being the end of jokes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on though to some actual football stuff. Rashee Rice, right back in the news. Doesn't matter what this guy does.
Yeah.
He is now under investigation for allegedly hitting a photographer at a club in Dallas.
Yeah.
Right as I thought things were turning around.
Yeah, I know.
And by turning around, I mean maybe he was going to be on the field.
Are they going to add to his suspension already then?
I guess. I don't know. I really don't know.
I wonder if it would be a longer suspension since he's already suspended. Like, would they punish him even more?
I would assume you would add it on.
Yeah.
That would make sense to me. What is his suspension?
I think it's 4 games right now, yeah. For the car.
Bump it up to 6.
2 games for hitting a person?
Well, it was assault.
Yeah.
Is what they're saying.
I don't know. That sounds like another 4-gamer to me.
I don't know. We'll see. It's just stupid.
Nerf the Chiefs.
None of the stuff that,
they probably planted that photographer there.
You know what? Now that we're talking about the Chiefs, I might as well just bring this one up. Zay Jones is visiting the Kansas City Chiefs today. So they might get Zay Jones.
They probably will get Zay Jones. Yeah. That sounds like he's not leaving that building.
Well, he has already visited the Titans, Cardinals, and Cowboys this week. So there's a couple of teams showing some interest, but he is visiting the Chiefs, which probably means he's going to the Chiefs.
Yeah.
I doubt that he's going to the Titans, though, because they signed Tyler Boyd.
Yes, they did.
What a wide receiver room they've put together.
I'm glad that they're not just laying down this offseason, because that was a team that you and I can agree on. They needed changes. Big time.
Definitely. I don't know if wide receiver was exactly what they needed to change.
Yeah.
I think the defense needs some help.
Yeah.
And, consistent quarterback play is going to be the key to this, and I don't know if they have that with Will Levis.
Yeah.
But D-Hop, Calvin Ridley, Tyler Boyd, it's pretty hard to get better than that.
Yeah. I'm kind of curious to see, though, like what guys like Tony Pollard are gonna do, like going to like a running offense, because it's going to be interesting. I think
they're kind of switching into a passing offense. With
Yeah.
Will Levis, you're putting all this, importance on wide receiver. Like you went and picked up a good running back who is just kind of I think Tony Pollard and Joe Mixon are very similar running backs in the fact that they're pretty good at just like you give them their carries every game, they'll probably get you 1,000
Get some
yards.
receptions too.
Yeah, they'll get some receptions. Like I think they're very similar in that way. So, and Joe Mixon worked pretty well in a system where they pass the ball.
Yeah.
I think Tony Pollard is going into a system where they're looking to kind of change directions with this new coaching staff, and they're going to start passing the ball more. Will Levis just kind of fits in with that because he needs to throw the ball.
Yeah.
That's what he's good at. I'll give him that. Is that like he's got a good arm. He's a rather accurate quarterback. He just needs to be consistent.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing for the Titans.
For sure.
The NFL schedule is currently slated to be released at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on May 15th. It was actually supposed to be released today as we're recording at 8 p.m. And they just delayed it, didn't say why.
I thought they use AI to make the schedules now.
I don't know.
Just ChatGPT, make the NFL schedule.
Yeah.
Release it.
Yeah. Just make sure that the Bills and the Bengals play.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
All right. Micah Parsons and CJ Stroud. I don't know if you've been paying attention to them at all.
Oh, my
They've just
God.
been having a blast this summer.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're just chilling. This whole offseason they have been, and they've been making these videos for Bleacher Report. I think they've been doing a podcast for them as well.
Podcast is hilarious.
Okay. I haven't actually watched it yet, but I saw this video where they were wrestling sumo wrestlers.
Yeah.
And this one sumo wrestler, literally, Micah Parsons could not move him.
Wow.
Yeah. Somebody's got to sign
awesome.
that guy.
Yeah.
Teach that guy how to not hold, and you're in for a rude awakening.
Got yourselves a guard.
Yeah. I thought that was
Wow.
hilarious. And like the visual of CJ Stroud next to a sumo wrestler, because like CJ Stroud's not a small person.
No.
He's like, 6 foot something, probably like 200 something pounds. He looks tiny next to these
That's
sumo. And it's
insane.
not like the fucking stereotypical sumo wrestler, like cartoon character,
Yeah.
like circle. It's not like that. Like it's genuinely just like giant Japanese men.
Yeah.
And they still look very small next to them. So
Wow. I need to watch that.
Yeah,
I didn't know
it
about their
was
videos for Bleacher Report.
very entertaining.
Yeah, the one podcast that I saw of them, they were arguing about what like high school, like state-wise that they came from had like the better basketball players.
Nice. Micah Parsons from
One of them's from
Philly?
California, and I think one of them's Texas, maybe.
I thought Micah Parsons was from Philly. Maybe I'm thinking
We can look that
Kyle
up. Maybe
Pitts.
Philly. I think you're right.
I
think it
know
is Philly.
for a fact that CJ Stroud is from California. I think he's from Rancho Cucamonga, but I could totally be
I mean,
wrong.
he did go to Penn
Harrisburg, PA, for Micah Parsons.
Okay.
I don't know what high school.
Yeah. Apparently, C.J. Stroud was a nasty high school basketball player.
Really
Yeah.
interesting.
What does it
High
say?
school, Central Dauphin and Harrisburg High School.
Okay.
Both of them. And then CJ Stroud, once again, I believe he's from Rancho Cucamonga, Texas. I am correct.
Wow. How did you know that?
I don't know. I guess I just remembered that. Let's see. High school. Thought he went to Modern Day. No, okay, well, this says he went to Rancho Cucamonga High School, which makes sense. I could have sworn he went to Modern Day High School.
They had to have a nickname for that high school. There's no way that they said that every single time.
Maybe. They probably just called it like a rancho.
Yeah.
I
Maybe.
don't know. Wait, okay. I got to figure out if that's actually the high school he played at. I guess it is. Yeah.
His Max Preps.
Yeah, that's where he went to high school. Okay. I could have
Wow.
sworn, like, maybe I'm just. Oh, no. Bryce Young's the one that went to Modern Day. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Wow.
Whatsoever. Yeah. I just thought they're very interesting duo for sure.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pass rusher and quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously kind of Texas rivals.
Yeah.
Which is another interesting wrinkle. Look, I'm gonna say this and we're just gonna go past it.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
This is a report from a NFL reporter I very much respect in Ari Meirov. I think he does great stuff. He said one of the big reasons Kirk Cousins decided to leave Minnesota this offseason was the fact that the Vikings told him they were drafting a quarterback of the future high in the draft. Yeah. Awesome, right?
Oh, man. You
I
know,
wonder if anybody else did that to him.
I think No.
Dude, nobody would make that mistake twice.
Absolutely not. I actually, like, as this situation has progressed, I more feel bad for just Kirk rather than, like, stuck on the fact of how bad of a pick it was for that time. You know?
I'm in the same boat. I hate this for Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. Because in 4 years, it very well could be Michael Penix that's starting.
Yeah. Oh, 100. Kirk Cousins is going to be 40
Yeah.
in 4 years.
Yeah.
He's not going to be starting.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that.
Yeah.
Which I guess, for me as a Falcons fan, I'm glad that we have a kind of a plan laid out. But also, Michael Penix is going to be like 27.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, if he is a great quarterback in the NFL, we'll get, 10, 12 years out of him if he decides to stay loyal to the Falcons.
Yep.
But, Caleb Williams, if he was going to be our franchise guy, he's like 21, 22.
Yeah.
So we'd get so much more out of him. Like, that's my only issue with getting Penix in particular, is that he's literally the oldest quarterback in the class.
Yeah. Like, at that point, just take J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
I got to be honest with this next thing. I haven't really read into it much, but it seems rather interesting. ESPN and NFL Network are believed to be closing in on a deal, meaning that ESPN would acquire NFL media. Which is very weird.
Well, I hear a lot of talks of people saying, like, Pat McAfee's the only thing keeping ESPN alive. So maybe this is the
could be
deal to kind of stretch out and save your company. I don't know, though.
It could be. I just don't know how I feel about ESPN taking over NFL media. Obviously, Fox, CBS would still be having games.
Yeah.
But for ESPN to take over the studio aspect of NFL,
I don't know if I like that.
don't like.
Yeah. I don't mind the NFL Network at all. It's not bad at all.
No, me neither. And what sucks is that the NFL, I guess, has been just firing NFL Network people as the year has gone on. And that's why it's believed that this deal was happening.
Yeah.
Now it looks increasingly likely it's going to happen, which I get, because if ESPN's going to take over, you're obviously not going to renew contracts, whatever.
Yeah.
But also, they just renewed Ian Rappaport.
Yeah.
So NFL Network renewed Ian Rappaport, but, like, I guess if you're part of ESPN, you don't really need Ian Rappaport because you have Adam Schefter.
Yeah.
So Ian Rappaport, probably for his sake, would do better elsewhere.
Yeah. Maybe.
I don't know.
Unless, I mean, that's kind of crazy. Like, if you're a news company, a sports news company, and you have Rappaport and Shefty.
Yeah, like,
it's
pointless.
Yeah.
That'd be like Shams and Woj both working for ESPN.
That would be cool if they had a show together, though. That'd be some top tier.
Dude, no, it'd just be like each of them being like, oh, 1 second.
Yeah. You think,
it's just like, it's like, oh, wait, give me 1 second. I'm getting a phone call. 1 minute. I can't say anything.
Yeah.
That's what Adam Schefter does every week on the Pat McAfee show.
Yeah.
He just, like, gets a text and like, what is it? And he's like, I'm not saying.
That's insane.
It's crazy.
You think there's some beef between them?
What, Rappaport and Shefty?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think...
Is the mountain big enough for the two of them?
I think for them two, it can be.
Yeah.
Because they tweet the same shit. I think all their sources are the same.
Might be, yeah.
And one thing that I think people look over is the fact that Rappaport and Schefter are almost never the first guy on it.
Yeah.
They're just the people that everybody follows.
Yeah.
There's always somebody else smaller that is on top of it before them.
That is true.
And I think Rappaport is much better at giving credit to the person that finds it first.
Yeah.
Schefter will just wait like 2 minutes, let a couple people tweet it out, and then he'll tweet it out because he's the most followed.
Yeah.
Like, that's the big thing that I think people look over when it comes to these insiders and stuff like that, is like, they're really not the first guys getting everything.
Yeah.
It's just, if you have their notifications on, you'll see everything. But it's not the first you're not the first person to see it.
I want a Netflix special on one of them when they're done, because think about all the stories.
ESPN
like
should just follow around Woj and Schefter
Yeah.
and just put out a docu-series.
Exactly. Like, I want to know, like, how he has built this trust with these sources to get this information.
They'll never say.
You don't think so?
Never.
Not when they're retired and they do a
No.
series on him? No?
No. They should. Maybe once they're retired,
Yeah.
they would be willing to talk about it. But I think ESPN doesn't want them to know. Like, doesn't want the people to know.
Yeah.
Because, like, Schefter, yeah, he's, I think he started off working in a front office. That gets you so many connections
Yeah.
that it does, like, you're good. You're set, essentially, because you at least know one person everywhere if you're in the front office for an NFL team.
Yeah.
So it's like, you don't really have to deal with any of that issues.
That is true.
Let's move on from this topic. J.J. Watt told D'Amico Ryans that he is free if he absolutely needs him. So that's pretty cool.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Gonna come back and get a ring, maybe?
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about it on the draft. They're probably the most well-rounded depth chart in the NFL.
My only question, does this restart his clock to get into the Hall of Fame?
If he came
comes
back?
I think it does.
Yeah, I guess
I think
it
you
would.
have to stay retired for 5 years to make it to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I think it's the rule.
I don't really know.
Which means that JJ and Tom Brady wouldn't be in the same class.
Do we want them to be?
I do.
Yeah.
Because that'll at least take some shine away from Tom Brady.
Yeah, a little
Can't
bit.
have him just have his own fucking Hall of Fame inductee.
That is true. Yeah.
Because, like, that's essentially what Derek Jeter did. Derek Jeter sucked everything away from Larry Walker. Like, literally everything was stolen from Larry Walker at that Hall of Fame ceremony. And I think J.J. Watt is a big enough name to at least bring some allure to him.
Yeah.
Outside of just Tom Brady.
That is true.
Going into the Hall. Jets rookie wide receiver Malachi Corley said that Aaron Rodgers has offered to let him stay in his guest house as he kind of gets settled in New York, and he plans to accept that offer.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
Malachi Corley's going to be living with Aaron Rodgers.
So how the fuck does Aaron Rodgers have a guest house in New York?
Well, he lives in New Jersey, 100%.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
Yeah, probably.
They play and practice in New Jersey. So I can only assume that they
New Jersey
all
Jets,
live
baby.
in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Like, if you're stupid enough, first of all, I guess, to play for the Jets and the Giants.
Yeah.
And second of all, to actually live, like, in Manhattan, you're dumb.
I wonder what Odell did.
Odell definitely lived in New Jersey in some giant fucking house.
You think so?
Like, I think if you want an apartment, then yeah, I guess you can live in New York, but the taxes are literally higher, and all you have to do is cross a bridge.
Yeah. That's a great point.
So
yeah,
I think that's a tough part about it.
Wow.
We got a couple of wide receiver signings that we didn't already talk about. Odell going to the Dolphins. That one's a big one.
I did not hear about
what?
that.
You didn't?
Odell to the Dolphins?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I think that one came out on Monday.
Huh. Good for him.
Yeah. I think it's a pretty solid deal. He's just going to kind of play third wide receiver.
Good for him.
Allen Robinson to the Giants.
No more Steelers for Allen Robinson.
Are you mad?
I mean, we kind of have given up more in that position than we've gotten this year. So
that's true. That is true.
It's going to be a super young core for Steelers going.
Well, it's
into next
okay.
year.
You replaced him with Scotty Miller.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Great acquisition.
Yeah, love
Obviously,
me some Scotty
Arthur
Miller.
Smith loved his 5 receptions he got last year from the Falcons.
Now we have 3 slot guys.
Nice.
Roman
That's
Wilson,
perfect.
Calvin Austin, Scotty Miller.
Perfect. I've heard there's 3 slots on the field. 3 places for those guys. Okay, this one boggles my mind. I can't remember who reported this, but Terrion Arnold says that the Raiders called him after the draft to tell him that they had a coin flip between him and Brock Bowers at 13.
You don't tell the guy you just drafted that.
That's so fucked up. First of all, that they did that.
Yeah.
Second of all, that they called him. Like, the fact that they did a coin flip is crazy. Okay, and even if it was even if this is like a proverbial coin flip, it shouldn't have been a coin flip decision between Brock Bowers or Terrion Arnold, and it shouldn't have been a coin flip decision on who you're taking at 13.
Yeah.
You should have known who the fuck you were taking.
Exactly. I mean, how does it get to a point with all the preparation that you had to do for it to be decided by a coin flip?
Yeah. Dude, these are both players that the Raiders probably could have expected would be on the board there.
Yeah.
You should have figured this out. You had months to figure this out.
Oh man, you don't let that hit the public, man. Don't tell anybody
that's
that you
so
did that.
bad, dude. So bad. Oh, okay.
Just,
Anything else for the NFL?
No, just adjusting my can there. Just just something.
All right. Well, let's talk about what some would consider football, I guess. Premier League, and we'll start with Newcastle versus Brighton. This is a tough, just kind of middle of the table matchup here.
I think Newcastle got it.
They are on fantastic form, I must say.
I'm gonna have to look at this with you.
They're in 6th place right now. Newcastle.
Dang, yeah.
Not Bournemouth. Brighton flying down the table.
Yeah.
All the way down into 11th place now. They're coming off a win, though, against Villa.
How about Manchester United? Both of our teams have somehow hopped over that poverty franchise.
They fucking
That is
suck.
Hilarious.
Yeah. They are horrendous right now.
Yeah.
Eric Ten Hag, pack your shit, dude.
Yep. Absolutely.
Not much else I could tell them. Lots of injuries for both teams. Duh. It's Newcastle and Brighton. That's all we've talked about all year for them. Look, I just really like the form that we're on right now. I know we lost to Crystal Palace a couple weeks ago, but the fact that we're kind of routing teams when we win is very good to me.
Yeah.
4-0 over Tottenham, 5-1 over Sheffield, which is that's essentially an average outcome for Sheffield United.
Yeah.
And then 4-1 over Burnley as well. Yeah, we're giving up 1 goal, but I'm really not mad about how we've played. We're 4th in goals scored per match in the league. Oddly enough, both of these teams, Newcastle and Brighton, have not drawn in any of their last 3 matches against each other.
Wow.
So likely to go 90.
There will be a result.
Newcastle hasn't drawn in actually quite a while, I think. And Brighton hasn't drawn in 4 matches. And Newcastle kills it at St. James Park.
Oh, yeah.
They have been so good at home this season.
Yep.
They're unbeaten in their last 7 home games. Just in general, they're great. But Brighton haven't won an away game in their last 7. So once again, it kind of stacks up on Newcastle's side here. Brighton just not scoring enough goals, I feel like.
No.
They're 9th in goals scored per match, which, is higher than they are in the table. But 1.5 goals for this team is really bad.
Yeah.
It
really
is.
bad.
Like, they should be looking much closer to the 2s with the talent they have.
And I don't even know if the injuries are really it for Brighton anymore. I just really think it's kind of falling off tactically as well for them.
A little bit. Yeah, I think the problem is the guys that we're doing such great jobs for them and, like, creating more than just, like, scoring are the ones that are hurt.
Yeah.
Guys like Kaoru Mitoma, Solly March, Tarek Lamptey, like guys who were actually like making plays, creating
Ferguson
chances.
as well,
yeah,
too.
Ferguson was a great goal scorer for them.
Yeah.
So it's like it's tough when those guys are missing from the squad.
Yeah.
And like your leading goal scorer is Yao Pedro with 9 goals.
Yeah. As a Newcastle fan, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Would you have expected Newcastle's offense to look this good this season?
Not at this point. No.
Yeah.
And I had my gripes going into the year. I the only person in the attack that I was happy with was Anthony Gordon, and the only guy that's really come around on me is Alexander Isaac. I'm still not a huge fan of Miguel Almiron.
Yeah.
I think if we want to take the next step, if we want to be a consistent contender for a Champions League spot in the Premier League, we need a much better winger because if you look around the league, top teams have the top players at those positions. For some reason in the Premier League, the right and left wing are so important.
Yeah.
Like you get if you have a consistent play at that position or one of the 2 positions, honestly, you're going to do really well. And it's very odd, but when you look down the table, it's like you look at it, Arsenal has great play from Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Martinelli.
Yep.
Manchester City gets super consistent play from Foden or Grealish on the left. On the right, they kind of just throw whoever they want.
Yeah.
But in general, they get good play from their wingers. Liverpool obviously has Mo Salah.
Yeah.
Even Aston Villa has pretty solid wing play, despite the fact that they don't really play. They don't exactly play a formation typically that warrants a winger, but Leon Bailey has played pretty well.
Yeah.
And Diaby sometimes gets out on the wing. So I like what Villa does there. And, Tottenham has solid play from the wings as well. And then you get to Newcastle on the table. But it's like the teams that haven't been as successful, Manchester United does not have good play on the wing.
Yeah.
West Ham Chelsea's rather inconsistent
I
when
was
it
just
comes to
about
their
to
play
say.
on the wing.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's necessarily bad. I
Yeah.
think it's just inconsistent. And the same goes for Brighton. I think it's not necessarily bad, but guys aren't on the field.
Yeah.
No Solly March, no Kaoru Matoma. It's really hard to create play when your right mid and your left mid are out.
Big time.
So I think that's been their problem kind of all season. Those two have been hurt for quite a while. I think Kaoru Matoma got hurt in the Asia Cup, and Solly March got hurt super early in the year, came back, got hurt again.
Yeah.
So it's like, they're kind of damned if you do and damned if you don't if you're Brighton. But I think going into this matchup, Newcastle definitely has the upper hand.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to go with the 3-1 Newcastle result. I think that seems fair to both teams, honestly.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm thinking 2-0 Newcastle.
2-0.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to go with here.
I like that.
Up the tune.
Up the tune.
Our next match we'll talk about is Manchester United versus Arsenal. Manchester United needs a win. That's for damn sure.
And they have to play Arsenal.
Yeah, they just happen to play the top team in the table. Look,
what are you going to do there?
there's a 0% chance this goes Manchester United's way.
Yeah, in their last game, there were so many people like just Casemiro basically just got deleted
Oh my god.
from everybody's hearts.
Yeah.
But
Brutal.
I heard that they played him at center back
Really?
in that last game. Yeah, and of course,
Against Crystal Palace?
I
where they
believe
got
so,
shit
yeah.
on. Let's take a look.
what does it say?
They sure fucking did. What an interesting formation.
Yeah, and I'm gonna give Casemiro his flowers, but also kind of take him away here. As someone who has played on probably one of the best Champions League sides in Real Madrid, I feel like as a CDM, you should honestly be able to step up and play center back. But at the
and
other,
he is a defensive minded center defensive mid.
But at the other side of that, in a shaky team like Manchester United, where, not only is he being kind of put there, but he's also still a super counted on player.
Yeah.
I don't understand the tactics there. And I think he may have, not really. It's going to sound weird to say for a player like Casemiro, but I don't really think he knew what to do necessarily.
I don't know if it's as much as I don't think he didn't know what he needed to do, but if you put any other center back right there, they have Casemiro in front of them to help him.
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't have that luxury. Christian Eriksen is not a defensive mid.
Yeah.
Kobe Mainoo is not a defensive mid, and nobody else on that squad. Fucking Diego Dalot, off the fucking bat in the second half of that game, was all the way up the field trying to get the kickoff.
Well, did I send that to you of Jamie Carragher
Maybe.
breaking down that clip?
I think I just naturally saw it, but
They just have no idea what the fuck's going on.
that's what I think that's all fucking Eric Ten Hag's fault.
Yeah.
You can't blame the manager for on the kickoff, the left back goes all the way into the penalty box to try and get a deep pass.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
Garnacho, nowhere to be found. Anthony, nowhere to be found. Hoyland isn't even in the box yet.
Yeah.
But Diego Dalot is all the way the fuck up the field.
Anthony's spinning in the corner flag.
It makes zero fucking sense.
And they have the potential too.
They do. And I get it. This lineup is so injured.
Yeah.
When you look at no Rashford, no Bruno Fernandes, not even fucking Harry Maguire was healthy for this one.
Yeah, and I mean,
so it's like no Lindelof, no Varane, no McTominay.
and Højlund's
everyone.
back, but what's Højlund without Bruno in the midfield or Rashford on the wing?
Exactly.
You know?
He can't be productive without assists.
Yeah.
and Mason Mount can't assist for he can't do anything.
Oh my God, Mason Mount! So glad he's off the team, bro.
Yeah, he can't do shit. Obviously, Anthony can't do shit. He scored his only fucking Premier League goal all season.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago. And did you send me that TikTok about the photographer?
No. What happened
Okay.
with the photographer?
So Anthony, I guess, had been paying a photographer to come to every single match all year to get pictures of him if he scored a goal. And this photographer was carrying around like a plush Sonic the Hedgehog every time because Anthony wanted to hold it up after he scored a goal because I guess like his son is like a fan
That's
of
cool.
Sonic or whatever.
Yeah.
You know how fucking brutal it must be to be that photographer?
Yeah.
Carry around this Sonic the Hedgehog plush toy
Yeah.
every fucking game, and he scores one goal, and we're like 35 games in the season.
It's May.
It's crazy.
Oh,
and he's not
man.
only been at all the home games, he's been at all the away games too.
Yeah.
All the games in Europe, I think, as well. Like,
Jesus
it's
Christ.
fucking bad.
Dude, and he probably gets booed at Old Trafford now every time he touches the ball.
Oh my God, he better. I expect that from Manchester United fans. If they're
Yeah.
not booing Anthony yet, they need to start.
Yeah, and just kind of thinking about Anthony for a second, I totally forgot he came from Ajax. And
Yeah.
now thinking about his time in Ajax and the Ederwijs, he was disgusting over there, bro.
It was great.
He was fantastic.
I think we see that a lot.
Yeah.
I don't want to make a claim about that league not being competitive. I think it's that there's so much great young talent that it makes the other people around them look better.
Yeah.
So it's like on that Ajax team, there was numerous great players
Uh-huh.
all over the board. And I think that's happened for PSV. I think that's happened even for like Feyenoord players in that league where it's just like some of them leave and some of them are great. Others leave and they're just not.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a matter of there's so much talent being watched that they're watching this great talent and they're like, oh, who's this guy?
Yeah.
And that just, the guy looks good because there's good players around him. Maybe he's not necessarily great.
Yeah. Okay, can we actually go on a tangent right here? Because this would be fun to talk about. Can you look up Ajax's starting 11 when they had that really deep Champions League run? Because now that you're bringing up Anthony.
What year was that?
16, 17 maybe?
Oh,
That sounds way too late.
Yeah.
Hang on. I'll help look it up.
Let's see.
UCL run. 2018-19.
2018-19. Gotcha. All right, I'll get this pulled up.
I just want to talk about this because I don't really think a lot of players besides De Ligt have really gone on to do
anything
like very successful things.
Okay, so I've got it pulled up right here. This is their primary rotation that was used in their Champions League campaign.
Yeah.
So a goalie, Onana.
Yeah. Good at Inter. Good at Inter. But
so
not
I don't think
in the
Anthony
Premier
was
League.
on this team, or at least in that starting lineup. I don't think he was there just yet.
Still in Brazil, maybe.
I think so. Nonetheless, looking across the field, still Mizraoui, who is doing a great job at Bayern.
Yep.
De Ligt, also at Bayern.
Yep.
Daley Blind. Was he at Bayern as well? Did he make a move to Bayern?
I think he did make a move to Bayern. Yeah.
Because this is the Daley Blind after Manchester
Yeah.
United.
This is old Daley Blind.
Yeah, don't get that confused because there was a Daley Blind before
Yeah.
Manchester United that was very good, and he
Yep.
was pretty good at Manchester United. Tagliafico, who I think made the move from River Plate to Ajax. Now he's in Ligue 1, maybe? I think he's at Lyon.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
And
Good
then
pull
Frankie
there.
de Jong,
Who kind of
yeah, he's kind of
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's fallen off at Bayern or at Barcelona, but he's kind of evened out.
Yeah.
I think he's just kind of plateaued.
Yep.
Schoen, who I don't really think has had much success.
No, I think
outside-
Schoen only went down from Ajax. Like he was
Yeah.
old at this point.
Yeah.
Nasty left foot though.
See real quick. Oh, nice. I clicked on the wrong thing. Loss shown. Yeah, he just kind of stayed.
Yeah, went to
went to
Genoa.
Genoa and then he went back to Netherlands and then retired, I believe, after 2021, or at least he's a free agent.
Hakeem Ziyech.
Yeah, Ziyech was on the right, Donny van de Beek, David Neres, and Tadic up front.
Yeah, Dusan Tadic is still there. But like
Yeah.
Ziyech he was okay at Chelsea,
fine.
not as disgusting. Neres, he moved somewhere. I don't hear
I
about
thought he
him
was
now.
still there.
Is he still there?
I thought so. Let's see. Oh, okay. No, he's at Benfica now.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
he was there until 2022, went to Shakhtar Donetsk, didn't play whatsoever, and then made a move to Benfica.
Dang, couldn't get on the
In
field
the
at
same year.
Shakhtar.
Yeah, crazy. Which I must say, Shakhtar Donetsk does a fantastic job of finding Brazilian players that are out of favor in different
Yes.
countries and snatching them up.
They do.
Donny van de Beek, whatever.
Yeah.
He exists.
Yeah, but like the majority of that team that was so
Yeah.
highly touted just didn't really, except for the defenders, really.
Yeah. The defense was great, and De Jong has done his thing at Barcelona. He's still a top player.
Yeah.
around kind of the midfield in general.
Yeah.
That
That was a
the
long
attack sucks.
Yeah. That was a long tangent, but that just needed to happen. I feel like we're now at a point where we can
and
look
like they
to
had
see.
guys on their bench that have gone on and done okay. Sinkgraven kind of got a little bit of attention. Joel Veltman. This was a very old Klaas-Jan Huntelaar in
Yes.
2019.
Yep.
You had let's see.
Kasper Dolberg.
Yeah. There was another name I saw when I was looking through here. Oh, Ryan Gravenberg
Oh wow.
was on that team already.
Eric Ten Hag manager.
What a fucking surprise. Okay, let's we'll end the tangent and talk a little bit more specifically about Manchester United Arsenal.
Yeah.
I feel like this is obviously Arsenal's game here. Nobody can score goals for Manchester United, and if they do, they're not going to be on the field.
Yeah, and they probably won't score enough goals to beat Arsenal.
No, definitely not, because Arsenal's going to put up at least 3. That's what they've done in their last 3 matches.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
with United, you're coming off of a 4-0 that like completely like there's nothing good to come off of or build off of with that game. And
yeah.
Arsenal just has all the momentum right now. And if you're losing 4-0 to Crystal Palace, now you're playing Arsenal. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Manchester United haven't kept a clean sheet in 9 matches.
Yeah, it's you're chalked. You're completely chalked here, United.
And Arsenal has kept the most clean sheets in the entire competition. So that is all of the Premier League. They have the most, and Manchester United can't keep one. They're the best team away from home this season. They're second in goals scored per match. Arsenal is going to rout Manchester United. I'm going to go 3-0.
Yeah, Gabriel's going to make Højlund cry. I'm going to stick with you 3-0.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think somebody actually might make Anthony cry.
Yeah. Yeah.
If he gets anywhere near the box, which obviously he never does.
Doesn't happen.
He
Yeah.
doesn't get anywhere near, but Gabriel or William Saliba will literally put him in a casket if he gets anywhere near them. All right, let's go to the game that I believe is being played on Monday. Yes, Tottenham versus Man City.
Ooh.
Very interesting matchup here.
Yep.
Actually, this isn't even the one I wrote down. Holy shit. We do have a very good week. But Tottenham Man City is a little bit further down the road, I think. I think that one's on Tuesday, maybe Thursday. I don't know. Aston Villa versus Arsenal. Aston Villa versus Liverpool. Jeez, I can't read. Maybe we'll just talk about both these games quickly.
Okay.
Liverpool, Aston Villa, very interesting matchup. Liverpool needs a win.
Third, fourth.
Yeah, third, fourth matchup. Obviously, kind of a big discrepancy between the two. 78 points for Liverpool, 67 for Aston Villa. Nonetheless, not a horrible matchup. I think both of these teams are very good. The big problem for me is that Villa just gives up so many more goals than Liverpool.
Yeah, definitely. And this could be a big game for Tottenham as well.
Yeah.
Kind of lingering behind Villa.
Yeah, with Tottenham facing Man City, though, and they've lost 4 straight, it doesn't look good.
Yeah. No.
And how bad would it be for Tottenham? At one point, fourth place, or actually at one point, first place in this league.
Yeah, undefeated for a while.
Undefeated. You were right. They were at one point kind of like what, 10 games into the season, I think?
Yeah.
First place.
Yeah.
Now, 5th place.
And slipping.
If they lose to Man City, they will have lost 5 straight.
God. Which our teams really want that to happen.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
I mean, we are lurking right there.
Dude, I'm 4 points back. 4 points back from the Europa League right now.
Yeah. Which is insane. Like, honestly, the fact that Newcastle's in 6th is, like, incredible. Yeah. Everything that they have been through.
Yeah.
I mean, Tonali, man.
What is one thing that I do love? So, obviously, I follow Newcastle on, like, all the social media accounts and stuff, so I see the content they make. They still just, like, put Sandro Tonali in the content, which is awesome. Like, they did, like, some video of, like, they just like paired up like 2 players like randomly. I think there was like 3 different groups, and like they were just like giving them like British and Australian snacks.
Oh wow!
And, like Sandro Tonali had just had none of them. And he just kept being like, "I've never had this."
So he's still like literally
because he's allowed to train with them. He just can't play.
Wow, I don't even think I've seen him
really
since his last game. Honestly,
it kind of seems like he's just like having a good time, which I'm glad he's happy.
Big vacation.
Very big vacation. An expensive vacation for us.
Yeah.
Fucking $80 million vacation.
Wow.
I don't think we need a prediction for Tottenham, Man City, but we can predict Aston Villa, Liverpool. I'm gonna go Liverpool 2-1. I think it'll be pretty close. Liverpool's not on the best form. Like they won last week over Tottenham. Go figure. But like a draw with West Ham and a loss to Everton before that. Even further back, a loss to Crystal Palace. I don't think Liverpool's even in a great spot, but Aston Villa also not in a great spot.
Yeah, I'm gonna flip the teams there. 2-1 Villa.
Okay.
Keep the same score.
Yeah. Man City's going to fucking win like 10-0.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that takes us into the Champions League. Very excited. Champions League final.
Marco Reus.
It's coming up. Yeah, Marco Reus advances.
Yeah.
Once again, I have to beg the question of why the fuck the team that played on Wednesday last week has to play on Tuesday this week. I don't get it. It kind of pisses me off, but whatever.
Yeah.
Dortmund wins 1-0 over PSG. They advance 2-0 on aggregate. I'm so happy PSG is out. I know we were talking about how this is a PSG team that you could like.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be honest, I did not want to see all the storylines that were going to come out of Kylian Mbappe versus Real Madrid in the final. Because he's literally going to be there.
Yeah.
In months.
Yeah.
Maybe less than a month. Because I think the transfer window opens June 1st.
Yeah.
He'll probably be there on June 1st. Yeah, look, like we'll see what happens here now. But yeah, I think Dortmund and Mats Hummels in particular, we kind of shit on him a couple weeks ago, saying that he's just kind of, been whatever since, kind of since he left Bayern, like kind of actually since he got to Bayern.
Yeah.
He really slowed down, but good fucking God. Did he have a good-ass week? Both legs as well. He was locking up Kylian Mbappe. Like,
yeah.
Mbappe is going to be, Hummels is going to be in Mbappe's nightmares for weeks to come.
Definitely.
Also, just a shot inside the box is going to be in Kylian Mbappe's nightmares.
Yeah. God, dude. He can't.
No.
He can't do it. He's not like Haaland.
He is not. But yeah, a 1-0 victory for Dortmund at the Parc des Princes. Hummels, the sole goal scorer.
Just can't believe Dortmund shut him out in 2 games.
Yeah.
That's very impressive.
Yeah, and Dortmund big time just counterattacking, getting their moments.
Yep.
70% possession for PSG and expected goals of 3.25.
Oh, man.
Dortmund had less than 1 expected goals.
Yeah. Yeah.
PSG took fucking 30 shots.
Yeah. It's written in the stars, I think. It's just kind of nothing you can do.
Yeah,
about it.
And it's all because of a Mats Hummels header from a corner. It's crazy.
Looking at those stats there, it's going to be really hard for Bayern to win if they don't take their chances against a team like Dortmund that's, perfectly fine, kind of just sitting back.
Yeah.
And not having the ball.
Definitely. I do think Real Madrid versus Dortmund is going to be a good matchup.
Yeah.
Well, obviously.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I meant Real Madrid.
Yeah. And we'll obviously see how those teams actually match up, and we'll talk about like a real preview because we got a couple of weeks now till they play. They don't play till June 1st.
Of course.
Yeah. So, Real Madrid Bayern was an interesting one, I'd say. Joselu playing hero. 88th minute goal and the 90th +1 to get the win, and they advance 4-3 on aggregate.
Yeah.
Alphonso Davies, the sole goal scorer for Bayern Munich, which was very surprising. Overall, Bayern just was not impressive whatsoever. To me, Harry Kane got the assist on that Alphonso Davies goal, but in general, like, I don't know what the fuck happened. And, like, you had Serge Gnabry, I think, go out with an injury in the 27th minute. That's what brought on Alphonso Davies, who genuinely played left mid.
Wow.
He just played left mid. It wasn't like, sub him in, slide somebody else somewhere else. He was just on the left wing the whole game, which I kind of like, and he showed some versatility. He looked very good.
Yep.
And look, I don't want to discredit Bayern's defense because the defense really wasn't that bad. It's just the fact that Joselu got 2 very lucky, just like, last minute. He had some. He was fit. Nobody else was. At that point in the game, because he got subbed on 81st minute he got subbed on. Like, those are fresh legs, man.
Yeah, for
so,
sure.
when you have a defense where you didn't make a single substitution to, they're going to be tired, and things like that can happen. That's why I'm questioning why Thomas Tuchel didn't make any substitutions in the defense.
Yeah, which we've been questioning some of his.
That's a good point. Because he made 4 subs in this game. Literally, the 4 attacking players on the entire formation all got subbed.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Not at all. And, I heard after this game that one of the officials actually came up to DeLitt and said that he messed up on one of the goals.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was an offsides that wasn't called or something, but
no, that is what happened.
That's pretty crazy.
And I do think he messed up. I watched it back, and it's close. It's so close. It should have gone to VAR, and it didn't.
Yeah.
But Thomas Tuchel's reaction to it was bullshit. That's my problem. I could see why you want it to be checked, but the way that he reacted was bullshit in saying, he was like, it takes balls to pick up the flag there. If he thinks he's offsides, he's going to put the fucking flag up. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And then he questioned why the referee didn't ask or didn't deny it. I'm like, the ref can't fucking see that from his angle.
Yeah.
He doesn't have an angle. When it comes down to I don't know if you saw the screenshot of it, but it's literally Rudiger, I think, had his arm out like this.
Yeah.
And they made the pass. But I still think I think it was Harry Kane that was called offsides. I can't remember who it was that they disallowed the goal from. But whoever it was, Antonio Rudiger had his hand out, and they're saying that his hand was past him. I don't think it was.
Yeah.
It was super close, and I understand why they wanted to be checked, but the reaction from Thomas Tuchel and the reaction from Bayern's squad in general was just stupid. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And Thomas Tuchel kept questioning it. I really like what Thierry Henry said after, which was just get over it.
Yeah.
Pretty much just win the game.
Yeah.
But what killed me about what Tuchel said was that at the end he said it wouldn't have been called for the other team. That's bullshit.
Yeah. Well, a lot of really, I feel like the whole soccer world kind of has an eye out for Real Madrid and Barcelona in particular when it comes to decisions like that. So I don't know. I don't know.
Barcelona got fucking proven.
Literally.
They were literally paying refs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think Real Madrid played the better game. I think in the midfield they played way more consistently. Once again, they kind of threw out this lineup that I wouldn't say we were critical of last week, but
it's awkward.
It is awkward when you look at it on paper. We kind of explained why it works tactically.
Again, it's Ancelotti, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't matter what it fucking looks like.
Whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Because fucking Lunin is an insane keeper.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how anything's set up. He just plays so goddamn well in the Champions League.
Yeah.
It's
Thibaut
crazy.
Courtois coming back to Chelsea, ?
Maybe. They might not need him.
Yeah, maybe not.
They might. Ukraine might need him. Sorry.
No, for their soccer team.
Yeah. And Lunin will gladly play, I would assume.
With Mikel Mudryk?
I wouldn't want to play with Mikel Mudryk. Because if you play with Mikel Mudryk, that means you don't get the ball.
Bro, pass it.
Nah. No, I'm going to cut in at the corner of the box and try and shoot.
Or shoot over the goal.
Yeah.
But he's been hanging out way too much with Raheem Sterling, man.
He has.
And how has Raheem Sterling somehow been able to play for City, Liverpool, Chelsea?
Well, because he was actually pretty good.
Yeah, for those guys. Yeah, I don't know how he ended up in Chelsea.
Yeah, no. He was very good at Man City, I'd say.
And
I think he was...
Well, young guy.
He was so young at Liverpool. I think it's tough, but when he made that move to Man City, that was a big deal, and he rose to the occasion for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I think Bayern deserved to lose. I think they just played a worse game.
Yeah.
Overall, and I think tactically, the way that Tuchel approached his substitutions was the wrong way. I think it was very clear that for Madrid, there wasn't a ton of pressure on the defense throughout the game, where they were going to get gassed.
Yep.
And Antonio Rudiger and Nacho played fantastic throughout that game. So they played great in the defense, and they knew, Carlo Ancelotti knew, that the midfield was probably the ones doing the most work. They needed the subs. All 4 substitutions, left mid, center mid, other center mid, right mid.
There you go.
Those are your 4 substitutions, and it helped their pace of play so much throughout that game. Sorry, they made a fifth substitution that was Rodrigo as well, and that's what brought on Joselu, put him up front. So that was also obviously a great substitution because he scored a brace in a matter of 2 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
And then of course Vinny had a great game as well. So I think what this came down to was out coaching. I think Carlo Ancelotti just out-coached Thomas Tuchel.
I was just about to say, man, because Real Madrid have it so set up, kind of like City in the way where they are just so tactically advanced. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm a player on Bayern and I see Camavinga coming on and I have already played 80 minutes, he's fresh and he's 6'1", athletic as hell, and is a really good soccer player. It's unfair.
Yeah.
It's absolutely unfair. Chouameni the same way.
Yeah, exactly. And Chouameni, almost in a different way, is a big physical player.
Yes.
Like more like size-wise, strength-wise. Camavinga complements him super well. That would be a fantastic midfield for the future.
Yes.
Like if they keep Vinny or they don't, honestly, like I could see Vinny leaving after a couple years of killing Mbappe.
Yeah.
We'll see, but
a lot of ego there.
yeah, that would be my issue.
Yeah.
And I think it would just come down to like, I know this didn't exactly happen at Real Madrid because Karim Benzema just kind of toughed it out the entire time with Ronaldo. Like they just kind of complimented each other and it was whatever.
Yeah.
But we saw Benzema's best years when Ronaldo left.
Yes.
And I think, to me, I don't think Vinny or Mbappe is willing to take the back seat, and I don't think either of them should.
No.
I think Karim Benzema took the back seat for Cristiano Ronaldo. And, look, Karim Benzema is going to be a legend of the game.
Watch
He
the
was
accolades
so
pile up.
Fucking good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the trophy case is immense.
Yeah.
And he's been successful for France as well. But if Vinny wants to be successful, I think what's going to happen to him is it's going to be a Neymar situation.
Yeah.
He's going to be there for 2 years and play kind of in the shadow of of Mbappe, where, that's kind of what Neymar played for a much longer time for Barcelona, and the entire time he was there, he was kind of behind second fiddle to Messi.
Yeah.
But then he became third fiddle when Luis Suarez got there and was just lighting it up. And that just didn't work. Neymar leaves, whatever happens, and then fucking Messi joins him.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think it's in Vinny's best interest, most likely, unless they can figure out a way that it works so well for both of them in the lineup and Jude Bellingham in the lineup and everybody else that wants
Rodrigo.
to contribute. Yeah. I think it's probably most likely that Vinny is the person that leaves once Mbappe is there.
I think so too.
Because I think Rodrigo can kind of play his role. Rodrigo can go out on the right wing and just live there for
and is
years
used
and
to
years.
being the back seat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's been second, third, fourth fiddle
Yeah.
in that team. So I think he's kind of used to it.
For sure.
I think that's it for the Champions League. We're not going to talk about the final yet because it's on June 1st, and we'd like to talk about it closer to the date so we know, injuries, whatever, what have it. Guys could heat up before then. There's really no telling. And the season will be over for all these leagues by the time that game comes around, so it's a game changer.
Yeah. I would have kind of liked to have seen another Der Klassiker Champions League final, though, between Bayern and Dortmund.
Cool.
Yeah.
That would have been very cool. But didn't happen.
No. I mean, like I said, kind of, I think when we first started, it's just Real Madrid. I don't really think since Ronaldo has left that people have really noticed that they have continued to still be a finalist contender every year in the Champions League.
Yeah, and
they've already won one without Ronaldo.
Yeah, I know. And I think a lot of that is just Carlo Ancelotti is so fucking good.
He's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
And what's even better is that they've been so good this year that he's not going to take that job in Brazil.
Which would be really cool, too.
It would be cool, but he is not.
He should.
100% not.
Absolutely should not.
I think they already extended him, maybe. I can't remember. Nonetheless, you know what time it is, man. We all know what time it is, man. We all know what time it is. And this week, we got some questions from Jeff.
Oh,
as well. On
Mr.
top
Jeff.
of Nathan's question, we got 2 questions from Jeff. First one, if you're only able to watch or stream one channel, what would it be and why?
Wow.
That is so fucking difficult to decide.
That is a good
because
one.
there's a lot of things you'll miss out on certain channels.
Yeah. Oh, shit. Damn, I don't know. I guess one of the primetime channels, right? That way you can get your news, your sports.
I don't give a fuck about the news, though.
I do. I like watching the news.
I don't. If I can go on my phone and see the same shit, I'd be fine. I would have to have a sports channel.
Yeah.
100 It would have to most likely be ESPN.
I guess that would probably be
Because
mine too.
I gotta at least watch something.
Yeah.
I gotta at least watch people talk about it if
Yeah.
I'm not able to watch the game themselves.
No soap operas on ESPN.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll catch a 30 for 30 at like 2 in the morning every
Yeah.
now and then.
Yeah.
I feel like it just has to be like ESPN or one of the sports networks, but like ESPN just has the best wide range of things.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you can watch basketball, hockey, you get a baseball game
Soccer.
once a week, you get some soccer every now and then.
You get
But-
Monday Night Football.
Yeah, you get Monday Night Football. So, and then, the daily programming I think is a little bit better than some.
Yeah.
First Take is palatable, I'd say. It's not great, it's palatable. Obviously the Pat McAfee show is great.
Yep.
What does suck though is if you're just choosing one channel, you only get ESPN, the main channel.
Yeah.
Which means the Pat McAfee show, you don't even see the whole thing
Nope.
because they only do 2 hours on TV and then they do the extra hour on ESPN Plus and on YouTube.
Yep.
So that kind of sucks. And but also, their NBA coverage is pretty solid. Like NBA Today, Get Up, whatever. That kind of stuff is fine.
Yeah. Stephen A. Smith.
And Stephen A. Smith is just a character, man.
Yeah.
I wish I could get ESPN2 included in this because one of my favorite content creators on YouTube plus podcaster plus NBA personalities, his show just started going on ESPN2 weekly, which is King of the Fourth Quarter. Used to be the host of Through the Wire. Now they've changed it to Numbers on the Board.
Yeah.
Is what it's called, and they got bought by Omaha Productions. They left Bleacher Report. They went to Omaha Productions, who obviously works with ESPN.
Yep.
And now their show is on weekly on ESPN2, which is
Hell
awesome.
yeah.
I've watched King of the Fourth Quarter since 7th grade.
Whoa.
Yeah. That's a long time.
That's awesome.
7th grade was 2015. Yeah.
Almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Shit.
2015 is when I started watching King of the Fourth Quarter.
That's awesome.
And he was just doing NBA sporkles.
Really?
That's pretty much the content that I found him from. And then my freshman year of high school is when he started Through the Wire with like a couple of his buddies from Chicago. He's like a huge Bulls fan. And I listened to Through the Wire for like the longest time. And then I kind of stopped paying attention during COVID when I stopped paying attention to the NBA.
Yeah.
I haven't listened to a ton since, but I do still keep up with his content. Also, when he started doing like the Kenny baseball stuff, was awesome. He's a big White Sox fan as well. So
Brutal.
yeah, brutal. But yeah, love that. So that was just kind of a weird tangent about a guy that I watched kind of getting his respect finally.
Hell yeah.
But nonetheless, I would choose ESPN. I think it's just you get the widest range, and I have to have sports.
Yeah. Me too. Yeah.
You're offered to go watch a baseball game of your choice. What stadium would you choose, and who is playing? So I'm gonna go ahead and say this. You can choose a stadium and you don't have to have that home team play. So if you wanted to see a different stadium, you just choose the matchup. But I will say, if it's the home team, the home crowd's better.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
So
I would say I have two.
Okay.
Yankees, Red Sox at
In
Yankee
Yankee
Stadium,
Stadium.
which would be, the easiest one. But I think a more underrated one is I wouldn't mind going to like Marlins Park. I think that's a cool stadium.
Lone Depot Park.
Yeah.
It's not.
No?
I haven't been. It's not.
It's still the same one from the Home Run Derby, right? The 2017. I think it
Yes.
looks.
But they've
looks
changed
cool.
it a lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is there a swimming pool?
I don't know if there's a swimming pool, but I know they got rid of the fixture in center field.
Oh, okay. Then what's the point?
Exactly.
Maybe PNC then. Pittsburgh.
Yeah, PNC's nice. I
Yeah.
have been there. That
Wouldn't
one's
mind
just a great view.
Going to Wrigley?
Yeah,
Wrigley would be
that's
cool.
somewhere I definitely want to go to. I think I would probably go to Wrigley. I think, honestly, Braves Cubs at Wrigley would be great because those are two huge national fan bases.
Mm-hmm.
So those are two teams that nationally everybody could watch for the longest time.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think that one would be great just because the atmosphere is awesome. There'd
Yeah.
be a ton of Braves fans. Obviously, there'd be a ton of Cubs fans. And those are two, historic franchises, all of that. That would be a great pick, would be Cubs Braves at Wrigley.
Yeah, and
which is
Wrigley-
happening, like in a couple of weeks.
Wrigleyville is a lot cheaper than the Battery as
That
far
is
as
true.
drinking wise.
Very
Yeah, I
true.
went to PBR. It was like a $21 Terrapin at PBR.
Ugh, that's brutal.
Who affords that?
Not me.
Douchebags.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to the Battery yet since I've turned 21.
I think you should go,
I
but
think
I don't think
I need to have that experience.
I don't think it's something that you're gonna like though.
I probably won't.
Yeah,
Last night, like I said, me, 2 buddies, go and grab a beer at just a local sports bar. Had a couple beers, watch a Braves game.
hell yeah,
Way better than going out and like spending a bunch of money.
yeah. It really is.
Yeah,
it
was
really
great.
is.
Okay, and I'm gonna give a second option because that one was more just like I want to watch the Braves and the Cubs,
Yeah.
and I want to go to Wrigley. Where I really first of all, some people might expect me as a huge baseball fan to want to go to Fenway. I don't want to touch Fenway Park.
Whoa,
It's old as fuck. And
not
they
at all.
Don't change anything.
Yeah,
That's the problem. I would like to tour Fenway Park. I
Yeah.
do not want to sit down and watch a baseball game.
yeah.
I want to go to, I don't even know what they call it anymore. Is it AT&T Field or Oracle Park? I don't
Oracle
know.
Park sounds right.
Okay, whatever it is in San Francisco, that's where I want to go. 'Cause
Yeah.
that park is awesome. It's on the water, kind of similar to PNC.
Yep.
Crazy dimensions, awesome vibes, great fan base, storied franchise. I think that would be a really cool one to go to.
For sure. Maybe
Um,
Cubs White Sox.
I think
game.
I'd want to go to Dodgers Giants at that game.
Yeah,
That would be good.
that would be sick too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wrigley, Cubs White Sox would be fun.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. I don't really know about going to the park in the South Side.
It's not a good one.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
sucks. All right, let's get to Nathan's questions, though.
Thank you, Jeff. Those were
Yeah,
good.
great.
I like that.
Great questions,
Wait, questions.
Jeffrey. All right, did Steph Curry ruin basketball or did he revolutionize it?
Revolutionized it.
I agree.
Yeah.
I don't think he ruined He's one of my favorite players of all time.
Yeah.
I just happened to have started paying attention to basketball in like 2014.
Yeah.
Which was just such perfect time.
Yeah. God, I'll never forget 2016 finals, especially. That one was probably one of my
Oh,
favorites.
man.
I was in Minnesota for that.
Crazy finals.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much to expand upon. Like, yeah, the 3-point shot is cool.
Yeah.
I think, but we're also kind of getting away from it a little bit. The best players in the league right now are Jokic, Embiid, Giannis, Anthony Edwards, who's a big time like mid range and get to the basket kind of guard.
Get to the basket is an understatement with
Yeah.
Ant-Man, bro.
I fucking love Anthony Edwards. He's making me get back into basketball.
Yeah. Where is he from in
Georgia.
Georgia?
Oh,
I just looked it up a couple days ago. I think he is from just Atlanta.
I think he is. I can't quite remember.
Have you
though.
seen the clip where he's playing at the football field in Atlanta and he throws a football pass? He's like, "Ain't that back shoulder? Ain't that back shoulder?"
It's very-
I love that.
This
clip.
literally just says he's from Atlanta. Let
Yeah.
me see what high school he went to. Holy Spirit Prep.
No shot. Is he still only 22 years old?
Yeah.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
He
we
was
got
a
a
one and done at
long-
Georgia,
Long
so-
career, him being in the league.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, big fan of that guy.
Yeah. Love Anthony Edwards. Wish he would have been a Hawk. That was the talk of the town, man. We were supposed to win the draft lottery that year.
Yeah.
We were. It was going to happen. Or it was going to be the Zion draft. One
Should've
of
bought
those two.
more tickets.
We were going to, yeah, I guess. We lost the 50-50 raffle. All right. Are we at the point where quarterbacks have to be mobile? I don't think so.
No.
I think there is, like, Tom Brady is not mobile. And not much has changed since Tom Brady left the league.
No, not
Not
at
much
all.
has changed since Tom Brady was last successful in the league either.
Yeah.
So I don't think you have to be. I think it's certainly a plus. I think all the top guys are. Like, yes, Patrick Mahomes isn't a running quarterback. He's not Lamar Jackson, but he's mobile.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, not particularly a running quarterback, but he's mobile and he's very good runner.
Yeah, that's a power running
Yeah,
back.
he's
right
a
there.
power runner, which
Yeah.
you don't typically see from a quarterback. I think
I think they just need to be able to know when to escape. It doesn't matter how fast they are, as long as they
Yeah.
can escape, get some yards.
yeah,
That's
like
it.
you have to be able to move through the pocket.
Yeah.
Is the big thing. You don't have to particularly be able to run full speed and make crazy plays with your legs.
No.
But if you can extend plays with your legs, that's where it's valuable.
Yeah.
Because I think it's it's not as much that you have to be a running quarterback. It's that you have to be able to get over the fact that we've gotten to the point where defensive ends are so fucking athletic.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Really, because you've got, a guy that's like 6'5", 250 pounds, and he runs like a 4.4.
Oh yeah. Those are very scary demons.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
For the like where we've gotten to is that quarterbacks have to be mobile enough in the pocket to get out of the way.
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
Because a guy like Micah Parsons is running down 98% of the quarterbacks.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, but like, it's not to say that a Tom Brady wouldn't be successful.
Exactly.
Or that Aaron Rodgers can't be successful.
Yeah, for sure.
Jared Goff is kind of a shining example. He's not a mobile quarterback.
Not
really,
at all.
But he can move around in the pocket well. He's got good awareness.
Yes.
All right. Do the teams in the NFL need to have both a power back and explosive back, or is one the better option for certain teams?
That's a really good question.
I think this is very evident when you look at the best. If you look at how the running back tandems perform as opposed to one-star running back. If you look at the Lions last year, that is, you have an explosive running, but then again, both of them kind of explosive, but Montgomery definitely more of a power back than Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yep.
I
even
kind
seems
of
like the
think-
Steelers. Steelers is a really good example with Najee and Jalen Warren.
Yeah, and I think Bijan and Algier are both a very good one of that. I think if you go back 2 years now, Pollard and Elliott was a good one of it.
Yep.
Like, it seems like whenever you do the tandem, it works really well. The problem is it makes you a little more predictable.
Yeah.
Depending on your personnel, like if you're throwing Zeke out there and you give him the ball, it's pretty obvious what's going to happen.
For sure.
But if you have Pollard out there, maybe he's going to catch the ball, maybe they're going to run the ball, and something else is going to happen.
Yeah.
Whereas if you throw out Derrick Henry every single snap, maybe you don't know what's going to happen. You probably fucking know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
They're going to run it down your throat, and Derrick Henry is going to probably kill the self-esteem of at least 8 players on your team.
Yeah, on one play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you necessarily need to have both. I think it's better than having one.
Optimal.
Yeah. And look, Derrick Henry is both. Derrick Henry is a power back, and he is an explosive back.
Yeah.
He's not a speedy running back.
No.
But he can make explosive plays because of him being such a great, powerful running back.
Exactly.
So I think for him it works, but would you rather have a 1,000-yard rusher like a 1,300-yard rusher and a 800-yard rusher, or a 1,800-yard rusher?
Exactly. Yeah.
Who's going to score, let's say on a great year he scores 20 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Well, Tony Pollard can score 13 touchdowns, and I'm sure Zeke could score 7.
Yeah, and what'll be interesting to see is kind of, this is more of like a new thing, I think, in the NFL. Are running backs going to last longer if this still becomes the meta?
No, that's the problem, is that they fall out of favor so fast. Because even though there's not a ton of just one running back systems,
yep,
it's just a position where you get the shit beat out of you over and over and over again. So, Tony Pollard isn't going to get – I keep using this Tony Pollard Ezekiel Elliott example just because that's kind of the first one I think of.
Yeah.
I think of, like, that tandem. But even, like, a Najee Harris example, Najee Harris and Jalen Warren, Najee Harris probably is going to get a little more of, like, the wear and tear because he's a bigger guy.
Yep.
And he's kind of taking the brunt of the forceful, powerful downs.
He's not a move out of the way kind of guy.
No.
Yeah.
Jalen Warren is. Warren's maybe the better idea is power back versus elusive back.
Yeah.
Than explosive. But either way, I think it probably is in your best interest to have 2.
Yeah. I agree.
But to what you had asked, I think it's more that I think no matter what, running backs are going to get hurt. And running backs is always going to be a position that does not benefit as time goes on.
Yeah.
Because quarterbacks are just more versatile now. Quarterbacks are just more important now, it seems like. And so running backs are not going to last longer because they've always been doing this.
Yeah.
Like the running back position doesn't change.
No.
That's
Not
the
at
big
all.
thing, whereas other positions seem to.
It's fair.
Okay, throwing from center field to home, how many throws could you get there in the air on one bounce? So are we saying the center field wall? Because 0.
Yeah.
If we're saying like where they play in center field, which is typically like 350 feet, could we? No. Probably not.
No.
One bounce, maybe once in 150 tries. I'm one bouncing it to the plate.
Yeah.
Because the thing is that, first of all, after 2 of them, my shoulder is shot.
Yes.
Maybe
so
even I better
one of
get it on the first 2. But, yeah, I don't know if I could do it.
I don't think I could.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah, like,
and the thing is, I would be like literally giving it my absolute hardest.
Yeah.
It would not
and like
happen.
I can throw a ball, and I can throw it pretty far. The accuracy of getting it there, either in the air or on one bounce, is very fucking
insane.
difficult.
Yeah.
That's why it doesn't happen a lot.
Yeah.
Even when the MLB guys do it. What's your go-to fast food place and your order?
Ooh, Taco Bell.
Okay.
I usually get a Doritos Locos Taco Supreme meal. It comes with 3 of them.
Gotcha.
So that's like, your sour cream and, all that good stuff on
Yeah.
there. And then a Nachos Bel Grande with that. And then a Baja Blast. My Taco Bell is like $18 fucking
Yeah,
every
dude.
time I go.
That's crazy.
It's not cheap.
Okay. So I haven't really been getting a lot of fast food recently. The only, I guess, fast food place, it's really just the only drive-through I go to is Starbucks.
Really?
Yeah, because there's one right by work.
Oh.
Get
you a little coffee?
Yeah. I feel like this is a pretty normal thing, but some people might judge me for it. I just get a black cold brew.
I don't know how.
I like it.
My parents do.
Yeah.
Too, yeah.
But I don't, if I'm having hot coffee, I can't just have it like plain. I have to at least have a little bit of creamer
For
or something
sure.
in it.
Yeah.
I've become a big fan of oat milk creamer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see
very
how that would be
helpful.
good.
I don't put sugar in my coffee regardless. So
That's good.
yeah, and it's literally just a means for caffeine.
Yeah. Literally.
And like I don't really love energy drinks, so I kind of stick to coffee. But if I were to choose a fast food place of my liking, and what my order is Zaxby's.
Zaxby's?
Big time Zaxby's fan.
Shout out Nathan.
And I get a 4 chicken tender plate or 4 chicken finger plate. Replace the coleslaw with extra fries, and then
Of
I
course.
get a small fry on the side because the fries are fucking phenomenal.
What the fuck is coleslaw?
Coleslaw sucks dick.
Yeah,
It's just
it
like,
does.
it's a bunch of vegetables and mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Why would you want that?
No.
It's-
Extra
it's
fries?
great.
Are you kidding me? I usually get a boneless wings and things. Or their chicken sandwich is
Yeah.
really good, too.
So I hate their sauce flavors. I don't think they have a very good selection.
They
of
are
sauces.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I don't. Or I would. And you can also get your fingers tossed. I just choose not to because the sauce selection is just not that good.
That's fair.
But yeah, I don't drink soda anymore or sweet tea. In the past, go-to drink for that, Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
Dr. Pepper is a goated ass soda.
Dr. Beba.
All right. Last one. What sport has better athletes, basketball or football?
I've always,
It's tough. This is a hot topic right now
to me,
with Austin Rivers.
take Julio Jones.
Yeah.
That is what I want my athlete to look like and be able to do.
Okay.
Tall, weighs a lot,
Yeah.
fast as fuck, athletic as fuck. But then again, like a power forward in the NBA can do the same thing, and they
think-
might be even taller.
I think the problem is in basketball, and I don't know, maybe if I'm looking more at this as like who could do the other sport better.
Yeah.
Football players can do basketball better. Because
Yeah.
there's not a position for a 6'10" player that's 200 pounds.
Yeah.
There's
there
not
really
a
isn't.
position for Victor Wembanyama on an NFL field. There's not even a position for Jokic. He's not even big enough to be an offensive lineman.
Yeah.
And
No.
he's too fucking tall.
Yeah.
Like,
For sure.
dude, nobody wants a 7-footer on the offensive line because Bryce Young's little ass
Yeah.
can't see. So it's like,
Not only that, guys like Micah Parsons are just deleting you
yeah,
every play.
if you're way too tall, your center of gravity's too high. you're not going to be able to block when you've got a defensive end starting low on you.
Yeah, and you're going to tear your
fucked.
ACL like 3 plays in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Shit, fucking Joel Embiid can't stay healthy on the basketball court.
No.
Imagine that dude's jumping at his legs every game.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Like, what would Nikola Jokic do with a chop block? He would die.
I think
His legs
yeah.
would fly off.
Yeah, no, I think he would retire and he'd go ride horses. That's what he'd do.
What horse would what? A Clydesdale, maybe? Huge horse?
Maybe. I don't know. I just know he has horses back home. It's a big thing he's into.
Good for him.
Yeah. And there was also a video of like him and Jamal Murray at a horse race in his home country. I think he's Serbian.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so too.
I think he was in Serbia or Latvia or wherever the fuck he's from. At a horse race over the last offseason after they won the
He
championship.
got Jamal Murray out to the homeland.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think if we're talking athletes, I still have to go football just because they're getting fucking beat up.
Yeah.
Their job is to get hit.
Literally. So I want to extend this question. What do you think is the most athletic position on the football field? Do you go like edge, linebacker, receiver, tight end? Like, what do you think is maybe some running backs are pretty built and fast? I don't know.
I think if you're looking for the best athletes, and I think we're misconstruing the idea of athlete for can play any professional sport, because that's not the case. That's not what makes an athlete.
Yeah, when I think of
I think
athletic
athlete is
and
just a matter of versatility.
Big,
Yeah, like
fast,
size, strength, speed.
that's exactly.
like that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I think when it comes down to it, the guys that are the most successful at because I think the problem is that if you just say one position group, somebody doesn't fit the mold. Somebody's not an athlete at linebacker.
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
for
they're
sure.
an athlete. They're not athletic per se. Like Will Compton, not that athletic, but he was a great linebacker. Well,
Yeah.
Okay. He was okay. He was an okay linebacker.
He had an NFL career.
9 years.
Yeah.
9.1. But like, if we're talking about, Ray Lewis, that's a fucking athlete.
Yeah. That's a mean motherfucker.
So I think the problem with that is that the inconsistencies at linebacker of what is an athlete or who is athletic and who isn't.
like Fred Warner.
Yeah, he's athletic
Yeah.
for sure. But there are guys that just aren't as athletic as others.
Yeah.
Defensive end, you can't not be an athlete.
No.
You have to be a fucking athlete to play defensive end. I
Yeah.
think that would be the position to go with. Because it's like
More
you've
so than
got to
wide
be
receiver?
I think so. Because you got to be strong. You got to be fast. You got to be big.
Have some
you got to
height.
you got to have height. You also have to have like kind of the hand-eye coordination.
Yep.
You have to, have a little bit of finesse. Like I think there's wide receivers that get away without some of that.
Yeah.
There's not defensive ends that get away without some of that.
That is very true.
That's
very,
my
very
biggest
true.
thing. So I think it's defensive ends when it comes to the football players, and I think football players are better athletes only because of the physical, the physical strain of playing a football game. I think is much more difficult than the physical strain of performing in basketball.
Yeah. Who do you think is the most athletic defensive end then?
Probably.
So now
Micah.
we're talking about who's the best athlete
in
basically
the
in the
entire
world
NFL?
because we've narrowed it down.
Yeah, that's true.
I honestly
I feel like Micah Parsons is definitely up there.
I think he would probably be second. I don't know if TJ Watt would make my top 3.
No,
I would probably say Myles Garrett because Myles Garrett has
definitely be.
way more height than any of the other guys at that position,
Yeah.
and he is wicked fast,
And he can
wicked
jump.
strong. He can jump.
too.
Yeah.
That's a big thing. Yeah,
I'll probably go with Myles Garrett.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
I think that's a solid top 3 though.
yeah,
Because I do think like the guys like Nick Bosa are a little bit more finesse
yeah,
than strength sometimes. So I think that kind of pulls him down a little bit. But I think TJ is a good shout. Probably
Yeah.
2 or 3. Same with Michael Parsons. And then I do agree. Myles Garrett could probably be number 1.
yeah. There you go. Second and short, Myles Garrett is the best athlete in the
Myles
world.
Garrett's the best athlete in the world.
That's so weird to say.
It is. Especially for you. You're supposed to root against him.
Yeah, I am.
All right. Well, I think that's an episode. We're done with the questions.
Yeah, first one, just Grayson and I in person. This was fun.
Very fun.
Yeah.
We'll be doing more of these throughout the summer. We got some fun content coming this summer. A
Oh,
lot of
yeah.
things cooking at the moment.
Been
so,
in contact with some places I've heard.
yeah, we're looking around, talking.
Yeah.
We're making connections. We're networking.
Yeah.
Whatever you'd like to call it.
We're trying to say Bally Sports right now, actually.
Yeah,
and talks
yeah.
with them.
Yeah, we're actually offering to take over the RSN
Yeah.
from Diamond Sports Group, second and short, Southeast. It's gonna take over the Braves broadcasting. It's just gonna be me with a camcorder. It's just like, are we good?
Yeah.
We're live on YouTube.
Oh my
The Braves game.
Wow.
But yeah, look, we've got so many things going on this summer, so many things down the road that's going to happen. You got to make sure you're staying up to date. Best way to do that is to subscribe here on YouTube, because there's going to be content that is exclusive to YouTube. You're not going to see it anywhere else. So you got to check out the YouTube. Of course, if you're on the podcast platforms, you know the rules. Stop driving safely. Not like the podcast, but, well, I guess if you're on Spotify, like the podcast. Follow the podcast, rate 5 stars, keep listening, obviously. And then everybody else, or everybody in general, make sure you're following us on all of our social media accounts, stay up to date with everything. Anything for the people, Luke? I think that's all.
Been listening to a lot of Maluma lately, a
interesting.
very popular Latin artist that I've never really
Interesting.
dove into until recently. But he's been around for a while.
Yeah.
He's got some very, very good music.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You been listening to any music?
I've been listening. I haven't updated the playlist much since the last time I said anything about it. A lot of Maggie Rogers in the rotation right now.
Who is Maggie
She's a
Rogers?
fantastic artist. The best way to introduce you to Maggie Rogers is that there's a video from when she was in college. Pharrell came to their class. She was in school for music, and he said he's never heard anything like that.
And Pharrell's been around for a while. People don't actually realize how long Pharrell Williams has been in the game.
Yeah, you got to look back to the start of the Neptunes, which was late mid-90s, right?
Yeah,
mid-90s.
something like that.
He's been around a long time.
He has.
He's got his fingers on a lot of things that have happened in the music industry.
Yeah, big
as well.
time.
Got to shout out Pharrell. All right. Is that everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
We
Well,
can get out of here.
everybody, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy all the sports. We'll see you guys back here on Monday. Congrats to Colin on graduating college.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's really great.
I honestly don't even know if he's going to be on the episode on Monday, but he might.
He'll be
I hope
crawling
so.
in here.
He might be. But nonetheless, we'll see you guys then. Luke will see you guys next week. Peace.
Peace.